do the live stream of the Kouri Richins trial for day 11, but we spent most of the time with the judge, with the attorneys, trying to figure out what evidence is going to come in because the next witness on the stand was supposed to be lead detective Jeff O'Driscoll. And the reason why there was so much contention with his testimony was because through his testimony, they were going to bring in all this evidence, jailhouse calls, police interviews with Kouri, police interview with Carmen, and the defense is really fighting back on what's going to be allowed in and what, shouldn't be coming in, mostly on the what shouldn't be coming in part. Now, the court dismissed the jury for a little bit, let them have a little break, not for the day, and they were going back and forth for a while. And luckily, I was like, okay, well, guys, I have to go because I had something that I had to do, and it was really important. So by the time I came back, I was like, oh, they actually just dismissed the jury because the court realizes we're keeping the jury here for a very long time, and we don't want to waste their time. So they told the jury to come back the next day at 1 p.m. And this morning, they were still going back and forth with what's going to be coming in with police interviews and all that good stuff. So the stuff that I kept hearing was issues with hearsay and issues with, wanting to include more portions of transcripts, interviews, audio tapes, just to make sure that there is a completed context of what is happening in, portions of the evidence. So I hope you guys can see me. Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for being so patient. I do want to pop in very, very briefly because yesterday there was some jury time with the court, but honestly, Mr. Koutradimos came back up to testify again. He was witness number 26, and he just talked about the February 14, 2022 activity that was on Eric's phone. So remember, the allegation on February was that Kouri had poisoned Eric or attempted to murder him with an egg sandwich. Eric fell sick and he disappeared off his phone for about 87 minutes. So they pulled up his phone activity and they were able to show this gap where nothing was happening on his phone, which would be unusual because Eric would have been working around this time, and Eric does own a stone masonry business. So I'm assuming maybe there's a lot of walking around, maybe visiting job sites, maybe conferring with contractors, subcontractors, and all that fun stuff. But then the testimony only lasted about 6 minutes, and then the judge was like, okay, well, Mr. Witness, you can get off the stand now, and juries, y'all can leave. Come back tomorrow. It's a half day. And we're like, oh, okay, that's it. So that's the reason why I didn't come back, because I was like, oh, well, nothing's really happened in court anyways. They're fighting about things that are going to come in and out of the trial. And once we get to the trial portion, we're going to see what they're going to have come in. So the reason why I didn't want to cover it also was because there was a lot of page flipping, and they were referring to lines and transcripts. And because we can't see it, it's mostly just us twiddling our thumbs. And we do get to hear some information here and there, but not much. So let's jump into today, day 12. Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us, and I appreciate you guys being here. Oh, God, I'm stressed out. All right. Carmen Lobber is going to be testifying again. Now, you guys remember the defense attorney had an issue with Carmen because apparently she lied about something. That's what they're saying. They're saying that, oh, she lied about something with text messages between her and Maynard, who I think was her probation officer or a detective. I'm a little confused what Maynard's role is, but she lied about, I don't know, following drug court or something like that. It's in my notes somewhere. So they want to call her back on the stand. And then they're also planning on playing the police interview with Carmen. And I think the defense wants to cross-examine on that. So let's jump into today and see what's up.
Thank you, Your Honor. Your Honor, the state recalls Carmen Lobber.
Very good. Ms. Lobber, if you would please step in front of Brittany, we'll get you sworn back.
Ooh, who's Carmen's friend?
Back in.
Please raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear the testimony you're about to give in the matter before the court to be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, subject to the pains and penalties of perjury? Thank you. Please have a seat.
All right, so Carmen is back. I forgot what witness number she is. I don't fucking know.
Please have a seat. When you're comfortable, please adjust the mic so it's close. Probably going to need to be a little closer. Thank you. I appreciate that. Sounds good. Mr. Bloodworth, please proceed.
Thank you, Your Honor. Good afternoon, ma'am. I understand the defense has some additional questions.
Ms. Lewis.
Oh, I thought the state was going to ask some questions first and then maybe introduce a police interview. I guess the police interview is going to come in through O'Driscoll. All right. So the defense has some questions and they are going to confront her with, I don't know, maybe lying about something. And remember, Carmen is not supposed to be watching the trial. She can't watch any of the footages. She can't listen to anyone who testified previously. So hopefully she listened to that.
Good afternoon, Ms. Lobber.
Good afternoon.
Has anybody spoken to you about why you have been asked to come back today?
My lawyer told me I was getting recalled again today.
And were you told why you were being recalled?
No.
Okay. So nobody's talked to you about
No.
what we're going to go over?
No.
All right. I just have a few questions for you about your probation that you've been on since May of 2023 when you were released after all of your interviews with Detectives O'Driscoll and Detective Maynard, okay?
When I was released from Wasatch
Jail.
County?
Yes, when you were released from Wasatch County Jail and then you were placed on probation.
Yes.
Okay.
Income honor, yes.
All right. All right, so when you were released, and this is, I think we've already talked about, but just for some background, your probation was transferred to Summit County, right?
Yes.
And Detective Maynard became your probation officer.
Correct.
And you said that you texted him every day while on probation?
Yeah, sometimes I'd forget a couple days.
Okay. But every day from then, like through today?
Yes.
Okay. Did you text him about everything about your probation, like your work hours and
Yes.
everything was through text?
Sometimes phone calls, but yeah, he had my work schedule through text, mostly texts.
Okay. And would those texts be available either on your phone or on his? Do you know?
They should be, yes.
Okay. All right. Now, when you were when you were released and you went on probation, you signed a paper acknowledging what your conditions on release would be, correct?
Yes.
And that, well, actually, Katie, can you pull up Defense Exhibit 3014 for the witness? Can you see that?
She
There's
will in
nothing
just a
there
moment.
Okay.
There you go.
Okay, pronounce it.
And do you recognize that as your conditions of probation that you signed and agreed to?
Yes.
Your Honor, could we?
Yeah, I think it was like her breaking probation and they just want to impeach her on that. But I don't know if this is going to make much of a difference. I guess to show that she's untrustworthy and she lies. But in the grand scheme of things, we had digital evidence of her and Kouri texting a lot and her meeting up with drug dealer and her and drug dealer texting a lot. And then her saying that she got the drugs. And then there was pictures of the house that she would leave the drug money at. She had the check that was written to her from Kouri, although it could be debatable if it was for house cleaning payment or for drugs.
I move to admit 3014 and publish it.
Objection, Your Honor. Hearsay.
These are being admitted to show what Ms. Lobber understood, correct, Ms. Lewis?
Right,
Okay.
correct.
Overruled. 3014 is admitted for the purpose of showing Ms. Lobber's understanding.
Okay, and you signed that paper agreeing you would follow those conditions. Is that true?
Correct.
Do you want me to publish these?
Oh, yes, I said that. Sorry. But since May of 23, you violated these conditions, true?
I don't recall what you mean by that.
All right, general conditions of probation. All right, so she's probably supposed to do urine tests, supposed to stay clean, maybe stay away from people that do drugs, report to drug court. I wish I could read this to you guys, but it's so blurry. I need them to zoom in.
Have you violated any of the conditions that you agreed to since you signed that paper?
Which one do you know?
You haven't violated any conditions?
I wouldn't be surprised if she didn't remember.
Weapon one? Is that
I'm
what
sorry,
you're talking
what?
about? The weapon one? Is that what you're talking about?
I'm asking you.
What did she say? Did she say the second one or the something one? Let's see. Reporting. You're required to report to your deputy via phone or text each day. Address. You have to establish residency on record. Visits. They are going to visit your place of housing, of employment, and anywhere else. Searches. They can search you, your residence, your vehicle, or your cell phone. What? Holy shit, that's new. Back in my day, I don't think they did cell phone searches like that. You have to obey all the laws. Drug and alcohol, you have to abstain from use, possession, or consumption of alcohol or illegal drugs. Do not associate with people who use alcohol or illegal drugs. Don't frequent places where the drugs are used, sold, or distributed. Prescribe medication. Report all medications to the deputy. Chemical analysis, I think that's like when they take your PP. And something with weapons, probably can't possess a weapon. Oh, They already mentioned that she got in trouble for the handgun thing. She had some sort of like firearm. So it wasn't a handgun. It was like a firearm. I don't know which one it was.
Did you violate the weapons condition?
There was a weapon found in my room when they raided it, yes. If that's what you're meaning.
Was there a weapon found after you signed these conditions?
Yes.
So you violated that condition.
Yes.
All right. You also violated the alcohol condition, correct?
If you're talking about where I went to a concert,
That's correct. That's what I'm talking about.
yes.
All right. So, and that was in November of 2023, correct?
I'm not sure. The day of the concert, I went with a bunch of friends.
Okay. Could we just show the witness defense exhibit 3010?
Well, at least she doesn't come off as evasive.
And actually, you violated in October of 2023. Is that correct?
All right.
October of 2023.
Jumping around a little bit.
Okay. I'm sorry. So October of 2023, you violated your alcohol condition, true?
I went there with a bunch of friends, and my buddy who bought me the ticket, I asked him if I could pay him back. He said, no, you could just buy the drinks and snacks.
All right. And you drank the drinks also.
No, I did not.
Well, so you were seen at the concert by a detective from the Summit County Police Force,
With
correct?
Bynum, yes, correct.
And you had alcohol in your hand, correct?
Correct.
And afterwards, he contacted you, correct?
Maynard did, I believe. I don't
Okay.
think-
It was
I don't
Detective Maynard contacted you.
Think, yeah, I don't think this detective did.
And you admitted to him that you drank the alcohol,
I
correct?
had told him I was there with it, yes.
You said you consumed it.
No, I did not. I don't recall time I consumed it, no. I had bought the snacks and beverages for,
Would you look at what's in front of, actually, Your Honor, can we just publish this now? I'd be to admit. For
Objection,
impeachment
Your Honor.
purposes.
I think
Hearsay, yes.
Sustained.
All right, I want you to take a look with the
Kouri, what was that? Dude, Kouri, like as the day passes by, dude, she's making more and more faces. We should do split screen.
Hearsay.
Hearsay, yes.
Sustained.
All right, I want you to take a look with the line that is.
Can't read it.
Thank you, highlighted. I was going to count it, but the line that is highlighted.
yes, I see it.
And what does that?
Should do a compilation of all the time Kouri makes faces. I think I have it ready because I have it all highlighted in my notes. So I know exactly all the times she's making these faces.
Does that refresh your recollection as to what you told Detective Maynard?
No, I don't recall, but if it's there, I guess so.
So you did tell Detective Maynard you actually drank alcohol, correct?
I don't recall, but if it's there, I guess so.
Okay. So if Detective Maynard said that you admitted that to him, that's true.
Yes, it was, yeah,
All right.
he said it, yes.
And in fact, you also violated your curfew too, correct? You had a curfew, isn't that true? Let me back up. You had a curfew, correct?
Yes,
You had to be home every night by 9 p.m.?
yes.
And you violated that also when you went to the concert, correct?
I don't recall if I stayed the whole concert. I did not stay the whole concert. I left early.
So,
If I was home at 9 o'clock, probably not exactly at 9.
so you don't admit that you violated your curfew.
Yes, I do.
You did violate your curfew.
Yes, but I
Okay.
said I did not stay the whole concert.
Okay. So the reason that you were discovered in violation is because an officer saw you, correct?
Correct.
Or you
What?
would've- no one would have ever known, correct?
I'm not too sure. I had an ankle monitor on. They would know where I was at.
But they wouldn't know you were drinking.
No.
No.
Wait, she had an ankle monitor on that tracks her location if she went to a concert. Oh, maybe she was allowed to go to the concert, but there was an officer who was there that had the same taste in music as them and was like, "Oh shit, is that fucking Carmen Lobber? Girl, why are you drinking over there?" Is that what happened?
Okay. So you just happened to be caught on this occasion, correct?
Correct.
All right. So then in February of 2024, you wrote a letter to Judge Mabee, who was over your drug court, correct?
I don't recall.
Okay. Could you show exhibit
Is his name Judge Maybe? Like maybe as in like he might be a judge, he might not be a judge. Sorry.
3012? Thank you.
I have to go there. I hate
Take
to
a look
do
at
it.
that and tell me if that is the letter that you sent to Judge Mabee. Do you remember that letter now, Ms. Lobber?
Yeah.
You do?
Yes, I do.
Okay. I'd move to admit Exhibit 3012 and publish it.
Objection, Your Honor. Hearsay.
It's not.
Are we admitting you for the truth?
I mean, it's her statement. She can be questioned about it.
So, question.
Just question her.
Say, if you're admitting for the truth, it's hearsay.
All right.
He's like, just question her. Just do it.
All right. In this letter, you were asking for permission to go visit your boyfriend in Las Vegas once a month, correct?
Yes.
Okay. And in this letter, you said that, actually, Your Honor, could we approach 1 second?
Of course.
Okay. All right. We really called back Carmen Lobber for this. I don't know if it really has that much of an effect or impact. To me, it doesn't.
Okay. So you were writing to ask for permission to go. Oh, can you take that down, Katie? I'm sorry.
To go to Vegas? Where's trying to go?
To go to Vegas once a month, correct?
Yes.
And in that letter in February of 24, you said that you have been in 100% full compliance with everything asked of me, so I should be allowed to do this, correct?
Yes.
But that wasn't true, right?
Yes. No. Yes. Yes and no.
It was
most
not.
part,
It wasn't
yes.
true that you'd been
No.
in 100% compliance. So
No.
what you represented to Judge Mabee in order to get you to do something you wanted to do wasn't correct, right?
Correct.
It was an untrue statement.
Yes.
All right. If I could just have one moment. Your Honor, that's all we have.
That's it?
Ms. Lobber, you just testified to a gun. Do you recall that?
Yes.
Was that the gun the detective seized when executing a warrant on your home on April the 26th, 2023?
Correct.
And then you entered into the probation agreement about a month later on May the 18th, 2023?
I'm not sure exactly the date, but
It's in evidence. Thank
yes.
you.
Ms. Lewis, may we allow this witness to step down?
Yes, we may.
Are we releasing this witness?
Fucking release her, dude. Let her go. Let her go.
No, we would ask that she just be, the subpoena remain in effect.
Psych, just kidding.
That she may leave now.
Ms. Lobber, to be clear, like the last time, you're free to go, but you're still subject to subpoena. You may be called back. Because of that possibility, I need you to not read, watch, or listen to any coverage of this case of any kind.
Okay.
And do not talk to anybody about your testimony.
Okay.
Okay, very good. You're free to go.
All right, thank you.
Mr. Bloodworth.
Your Honor, the state calls Detective Jeff O'Driscoll.
Detective, let's get you sworn in.
Do you solemnly swear the testimony you're about to give in the matter before the court?
Okay, well, I'm glad we're done with that. Finally, Jeff O'Driscoll. Been waiting for you to come and testify, dude. Witness number. Oh man, what witness number is Mr. O'Driscoll? Day 9, day 9, day 8. See. 39, day 8, day 9. 43. 43. Oh, yeah. Mr. Gabler was 43. Oh, guys, by the way, I did a recap of Todd Gabler's testimony. It was the most spiciest testimony in this trial. Feel free to watch it. All right. 43. So I think he's 44. Witness number 44, Detective Jeff O'Driscoll. He is the lead detective that took over the case. Initially, it was Detective Woody, but she got her canine dog, and she's like, I'm bouncing, and Mr. O'Driscoll took over.
To be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, subject to the pains and penalties of perjury.
I do.
Thank you. Have a seat.
All right, well, was that fruitful?
One more time, sir. What is your name?
Detective Jeff O'Driscoll, O''D''Riscoll.
And what, sir, do you do for a living?
I'm a narcotics and major crimes detective for the Summit County Sheriff's Office.
How long have you been with the sheriff's office?
10 years.
What did you do before becoming a detective?
I worked in the patrol division with the Sheriff's Office. I had a number of primary duties as well as lateral duties. I was mainly responsible for responding to calls for service. I also was a canine handler. I was a UAS pilot or drone pilot. I was a member of the SWAT team as well as a SWAT sniper, and various other administrative duties.
Hi, Go Lucky.
When did you become a detective?
July of 2022.
And sir, what types of cases have you handled as a detective?
All types of cases, as far as property crimes, frauds, thefts, mail thefts, home burglaries, vehicle burglaries, and then persons crimes, everywhere from simple assault to sexual assault, shootings. I was also on part of an on-call rotation for any in-progress or major incidents in the county, as well as all deaths in the county.
Are you currently the lead detective on this case?
Yes, I am.
When were you assigned as lead detective?
In March of 2023.
And did you take over from Detective Woody?
Yes, that's correct.
Was this your first death investigation as a detective?
No, as I said, I was on the on-call rotation for all deaths occurring in the county. And before that, I investigated several as just a first responder in patrol as well.
Was this your first death investigation that became a full-blown homicide investigation?
Yes, it was.
Upon being assigned as lead investigator in this case, how did you approach your investigation?
I had limited information when I first came onto the case. I didn't know all the facts and details about the case, but I knew some of the information, particularly the results from the autopsy, as well as the tox results from the medical examiner's office. So I knew that Eric had died of a fentanyl intoxication, and that there was fentanyl in both his blood and his gastric content. But as far as how I approached the investigation, I wanted to start fresh. I wanted to start as if it was the first day that it had occurred and the first time that I was seeing it. I tried to look at it with fresh eyes and try to get a fresh perspective. Having said that, and knowing what I knew from the autopsy results, it was apparent to me that there were 3 likely possibilities of how Eric died. The first being that he had an accidental overdose after taking a substance that may have contained fentanyl. The second being that he intentionally ingested orally a large amount of fentanyl to commit suicide. And third, that somebody else administered orally to him a large amount of fentanyl in order to kill him.
As part of your investigation, did you or did investigators get Eric's Doppel history?
Yes.
Scott, can I get 1-27? While that's coming up, what is a Doppel history?
DOPL stands for Department of Professional Licensing, but in our world what it means is the state holds a database of all prescription controlled substances that are prescribed, issued, filled, the dates they were filled, who the patient was, the dosage, things like that. The state maintains that information. We can request that for any particular patient within the state.
Your Honor, are you able to publish that to the witness and counsel?
Yes, sir. You ready to preview to the witness?
Yes, sir.
Okay. You should see it now.
Is this the Doppel history that investigators requested?
Yes.
Your Honor, can we publish?
Any objection, counsel?
No objection. He's making to admit.
So move to admit and publish.
No objection.
State's Exhibit 1-27 is admitted.
Right. I wonder how many members of the jury are like very, very, very conservative or like really religious. Might be turned off if Eric is gay.
Scott, if you could embiggen that bottom portion, please.
Embiggen?
What's the headline here, Detective?
Is embiggen a word?
It's just the contents of who the results are being sent to, and then it says no records found for Eric Eugene Richins with his date of birth and the time frame that they searched.
So what does that mean for your investigation?
It means that Eric wasn't prescribed any prescription-controlled substances during that time frame.
Did investigators search Eric's phone for evidence of THC gummy use?
Yes.
Did investigators discover 2 text messages between Kouri and Eric Richins regarding THC gummy use?
Yes, those messages were recovered from Eric's cell phone.
Scott, can I get 2-118D, please? Is this a change between Kouri and Eric Richins?
Yes, it is.
Your Honor, move to admit and publish 2-118D.
No objection.
2-118D is admitted and now published.
We love it when there's no objections, because whenever there's an objection, there seems to be really long ass sidebars where you guys sometimes take a full court day to decide things coming in and out. All right, so here is the text messages, or sorry, one text message. This is Eric's iPhone to Kouri, aka my princess. And it says, "Nah, I'm good. As long as I get to go out with you is all I really care about." This is on November 20th, 2021. All right, what's the point of this text message?
I believe the green is Eric's and the blue is Kouri Richins.
She writes back from the James Bond. Oh, the James Bond movie is out. Oh, this is why. She writes, not Eric, "Eat a gummy?" She also writes back, "At the nice theater?" He writes, "Carter is going to the rodeo with Tisha and my dad, then staying at his house. Carter's the name of one of their sons." She writes back, "What? That's awesome." I can totally imagine her laughing maniacally like that, by the way. She also writes, "What rodeo?" He writes back, "At the Golden Spike Arena." She writes, "Just Carter and Tisha?" Oh, never mind. I read that wrong. I thought it said Carter and Tisha were going and your dad was staying at his house, as in not going. So, sweats, hoodies, gummies, James Bond movie at the nice theater. This is in 2021. Oh my gosh, this is like 2021. So, apparently, her and Eric texted a lot. They called a lot. I would have thought maybe their relation was like dead, like they were barely talking to each other. But it seems like no, she was playing two dudes, man. She really was. He writes back, "I'd like to get some grub first if gummies are in the forecast." She writes, "Yeah, steak sounds pretty good. The movie doesn't start till 8. He sends an attachment. Don't know what it is yet. Some sort of attachment. Maybe a GIF. Emoji.
Scott,
Who knows?
2-119D, please.
Mm-hmm. Because remember, we have some competing narratives right now. Are the gummies, are they Eric's? Like what the defense said in their opening statement. Or are the gummies Kouri? Or maybe both. Maybe they both used it.
Detective, is this a accurate depiction of a January 13th, 2022 text exchange between Kouri and Eric Richins?
Yes, and again, I believe it's the green that is Eric speaking and the blue that is Kouri Richins speaking.
Your Honor, say moves to admit and publish.
No objection.
Admit them, please. And enlarge them.
2-119D is admitted.
The boys are wondering when you're coming home. This is on, this is like 2 months before he died. January 13, 2022. So Eric is texting Kouri. She says, "No, you are you, and you are wondering, not them. I'll call you on my way." So she's basically saying, the boys aren't wondering where I am. You're wondering, and you're pretending it's the boys. No, I would never go hang out with girls and miss the boys' games and scouts. Sorry, but that's not something I would ever think about doing. Who are the girls? We have some attachments here. Can't see them yet. "Can you bring me home soup, please?" says Kouri. He writes back, "Yep. What do you want, beautiful?" "Thank you. If Dairy Queen, If Dairy Queen isn't too busy, that works. Whatever they have." What's a Dairy Queen? "Or chicken noodle and Kneaders, whatever." Who writes this? Eric writes, "Gummy time?" She writes back, "Yes!" exclamation mark. Yeah, they love their gummies. Oh, Dairy Queen is in Heber? Okay,
Detective,
I was like, is that Dairy Queen? I know what Dairy Queen is.
are you familiar with a children's book entitled Are You With Me that Kouri Richins purportedly authored to help children deal with the loss of a parent?
Yes, I am.
How did you first come familiar with it?
Yes,
Your Honor,
the book.
We just want to renew our previous objections to this line of questioning.
The book, the book, the book.
Court stands on its prior ruling.
Yes, please tell the jury all about this book.
Please.
Sir, how did you first become familiar with it?
Another one of the investigators from the sheriff's office shared a link with me to a story by Good Things Utah, a local news channel, and I viewed an interview there between Ms. Richins and reporters.
Scott, can I get 8-21 Sierra, please? Sir, do you recognize that as an authentic depiction of a screenshot from that interview?
Yes.
Your Honor, the state moves to admit and publish 8-21S.
Your Honor, we renew our 401 and 403 objections.
Overruled. 8-21. Did I get the number right? 8-21.
Oh, here's the interview with her promoting her book. This is just months before she was arrested.
S is admitted and published.
If y'all haven't seen the interview, y'all need to watch the interview. They're not going to play the interview.
Did detectives investigate how Kouri Richins came to appear on Good Things Utah?
They are not going to play the clip, although I wish they did, but they're just going to show screenshots. Like, I want to read the book, too. Show us the book.
Yes. A subpoena was sent to ABC Utah news station to get that information, and part of their production. They produced some emails between Ms. Richins and the production team.
Hello?
It appeared that they had some kind of standardized form that anyone could fill out to requesting to be on the show, and it looked like Ms. Richins had filled that out and they were communicating about the results.
Scott, can I get 2-115?
All right, it's a little blurry, but I'm sure I'll come back.
Detective, is that an accurate depiction of the March 24th, 2023 email exchange between Kouri Richins?
What happened? Quality. All right, guys, press 1 in chat if you can hear me right now. 1 in chat if you can hear me. Am I in Hawaii? No, I am not in Hawaii. Very different time zones. The doctor's wife attempted... I've never heard about that. What is that case about?
Email exchange between Kouri Richins and Good Things Utah?
Yeah, I believe it began on March 24th. There's various dates on when emails were sent back and forth, but yes.
Your Honor, the state moves to admit and publish 2-115.
Object to 401, 403, and hearsay, Your Honor.
401 and 403 overruled. With respect
Beautiful. We have ones in chat. Okay, I just want to make sure because it forces us to do 144... 144p.
hearsay, there are portions of this were authored by Kouri Richins, other portions authored by people other than Kouri Richins, correct?
That is correct, and the portions other than Kouri Richins are offered for their effect on Kouri Richins.
Very good. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, to the extent that State's Exhibit 2-115 includes statements.
Okay. I think Law and Crime was just maybe
authored
struggling a
by
little
Kouri
bit this
Richins,
morning.
You may consider those statements for the truth or for any purpose. To the extent they include statements written by someone other than Kouri Richins, you cannot consider those statements for the truth. Rather, you can consider them only for the effect they had upon Kouri Richins as the recipient of those statements. Published 2-115.
Yes, Your Honor, please.
Very good. 2-115 is admitted and published.
All right, an email. Can we zoom in, please? All right. Oh, wait. She applied. It's not like they reached out to her. Applied to be a guest. Oh my gosh, she applied to be on the guest. Oh my gosh. I thought they reached out to her because they're like, oh, look at this woman. What a sad story. All right. Name of person requesting guest appearance. Kouri Richins. Personal phone number. Ending in 1987. Email krichinsrealty@gmail. I'd like to be a guest on Good Things Utah. Name of the organization you belong to. Self-author. Is your organization a nonprofit? No. Preferred date range of your appearance. Anytime that works for you guys. Name of your event as it will be displayed on TV. Promoting a child's book. First day of your event. March 31st, 2023. Time of your event. 8 a.m. Location of your event. At your studio. Are you and anyone who will be appearing on our program running for political office? No. Give us a short summary of your event, including ticket sales, age, limitations, unusual details, etc. I have just written what appears to be the first children's book about losing a parent. My husband passed away last year and we have 3 young boys. I wrote this book to help kids find comfort and peace when losing a parent or anyone close to them. I hope to promote it on your show to help parents comfort their children with such a tragic life event. Event, website, email, phone, social media pages. Are you with me? Link to the Amazon. You know what? What we found out in the... I don't know if it was during pre-trial stuff or if it was during this trial, but apparently in order to convince the detectives that Kouri was not involved, her mom like sent them an Amazon order of the book. Like, here, told you guys, my daughter didn't do it. It's like, is there more? Okay, this is from Kouri Richins to... Hi, Jill. That's amazing news. Oh, which email came first? November 24, 2023. Oh, that's March. Sorry. At 2:44 and 3:05 p.m. Okay, so she writes back. Did I miss one email? Okay. Hi, Jill. That's amazing news. I'm so excited. Yes, the book is available on Amazon. Here's the link. Are you with me? Amazon link. Of course, I would love to share 3 steps in helping children cope with the loss of a parent in addition to promoting the book. Absolutely. Please let me in now. Please let me in now. If there's anything I can also share. Oh, please let me know now if there's anything else I can share. What are the next steps? So happy you reached out. Looking forward to hearing back from you. Jill writes back. Hi, Kouri. We would love to feature your children's book on losing a parent. Is it currently available for purchase? Also, would it be possible for you to share 3 steps in helping kids cope with the loss of a parent in addition to promoting your book? Thank you. Sorry, this email came first. I'm an idiot. 2:44 p.m. and then 3:05 p.m. I read it backwards. From Kouri. Good morning, Jill. Yes, I'm available that day. Wait, who came first? Oh, Jill's email came first. That is great news. We can have you live at our studio in Salt Lake City, closer to the airport on April 6th. The arrival time would be 9:45 a.m. and you'd be live at... Really? You only have 15 minutes? What? Prep time? Don't you gotta do like makeup and hair and stuff like that? You'd be live in a 10 o'clock hour. Are you available on this day? Thank you. Kouri writes back. Good morning, Jill. Yes, I'm available that day. Smiley face. Can you send me the address? I will plan to be there at 9:45. Can you let me know if there's anything else I should specifically prepare for? Also, how long the conversation will last so I can prepare accordingly. Jill writes back. Don't hesitate to reach out with any questions. I'm happy to help. Thank you, Jill. I think there's more, though. Keep scrolling up, please. Oh gosh, here's all this. Okay. What I need 1 week prior to your segment. Your phone number, the name of your spokesperson, who will be on air, title of spokesperson, segment, talking points, listed in bullet point form, list props you'll be bringing so we can accommodate the setup. She also writes, Good Things Utah Hour 2 is live from 10 to 11 a.m. The segment will be filmed live and will be 4 to 5 minutes in length within that hour. Please plan on staying with us until 11 a.m. at the absolute latest. If you have friends, family that would like to watch your segment live, they can watch the local channel for KTVX. We're going backwards here. Great. We're looking forward to seeing you on Good Things Utah on April 6th. She raised, Thank you so much, Joe. I look forward to being there. Thank you so much for the opportunity. I will get the requirement information above. Hi, Kouri. Checking in to see if you could send over the talking points by tomorrow morning. Kouri writes back. Connection. Keep the person's spirit alive who has passed. Talk about them, sharing memories of them, and doing the things they used to do. Letting children tell stories of their loved ones. Continuity. Try and keep routines and schedules as normal as possible. Sports, school, pickups, drop-offs, living situation, friends, etc. Keep their normal daily environment for as long as possible. Care, affirming their feelings, understanding when they are sad, mad, lonely, or talking about those feelings to let them know it's okay. Not changing their feelings, but letting them cope with the stages of grief with plenty of hugs, kisses, and empathy. No prop, only a copy of the book. All right, those are the talking points. Corey says, "Hi, Joe. Your phone number." Oh, she's entering more stuff. Name the spokesperson. Kouri Richins. She is a spokesperson. Hi, Joe. I sent you an email with a photo of the front copy. Let me read this again. Hi, Joe. I sent you an email with a photo of the front cover that we use. Also, Amazon won't approve my discount code. I sent you my previous message. So instead, what I've done is offered a free copy of the book April 30th and May 1st through Amazon Kindle. Hopefully, we can use this. They wrote, "Thank you. See you tomorrow." All right, and that's the correspondence that they had with Kouri Richins, subpoenaed by the state.
In addition to Good Things Utah, are you familiar with Kouri Richins promoting the book on KPCW Radio?
Yes, again, I was sent a link to their website. I viewed their webpage and saw an interview with Ms. Richins and journalists and listened to an interview that she conducted with them on their website.
Scott, 8-37, please. Is this an accurate depiction of the website promoting the interview?
Yes, it is.
Is it dated April the 12th, 2023?
Yes.
Your Honor, the state moves to admit and publish 8-37.
Object 401, 403, and hearsay, Your Honor, and authenticity.
Are we having a long
You
sidebar?
actually have an authenticity objection.
Yes.
Please approach.
Oh, you're approaching now? All right, as they are approaching, Kouri Richins is wearing this, I don't even know how to describe this top. Gives me a little bit of a Midsommar vibe. There's some flowers, some paisley, some details on there. Up and down verticality. It's cream. It's a little bit of brown, purpley. I have no idea how to describe this top. All right, we are
Below the photograph, please.
done from sidebar.
No, I'm sorry, not the headline, the cap.
Oh, we got some tech issues.
Should put an R on it.
Okay.
now.
States 8-37R is admitted. Defendant's objections thereto are overruled. Ready to publish?
Yes, please.
Okay.
Sorry, I hope you didn't hear that. Oh, boy. This was a month after. Oh, no. A month after she interviews with the local news, we have this article. Summit County mom opens new book after unexpected death of husband. Wait, is this?
Thank you.
Oh, this is before she was arrested or after
Towards
she was
the end
arrested?
of March 2023,
I think before.
did the Summit County Sheriff's Office receive an anonymous Amazon delivery of the book?
Yes.
Ooh, from the mommy.
2023, did the Summit County Sheriff's Office receive an anonymous Amazon delivery of the book?
Yes. Package showed up from Amazon with a copy of the book and also a little standard sticker that you can leave a personalized message on with a gift when you send something.
Scott, 8-20, please.
I think you got to pay $5 for that. Isn't it extra?
Is this an accurate depiction of a scan of the cover of the book that the Summit County Sheriff's Office received, along with the message that accompanied it?
Yes, when we received this, evidence technician scanned the cover of the book and then the note that came with it as well, yes.
Your Honor, the state moves to admit and publish 8-20.
Just 401 and 403, Your Honor.
Okay. Overruled. State's Exhibit 8-20 is admitted.
Thank you. Did detectives investigate who anonymously sent the book?
The
Yes. Subpoena was sent to Amazon to request the information on who the sender was, and it came back as Lisa Darden.
The mom.
Scott, 8-34, please. Is this an accurate depiction?
Why did she think she had to do that? Of course they're going to know about the book. It was on local news. Oh, gosh. Mom is so smart.
Of the order history provided by Amazon in response to the subpoena?
Yes, it is.
Dated March 21st, 2023.
Correct.
Your Honor, the state moves to admit and publish 8-34.
No objection.
8-34 is admitted and published.
Detective, is Lisa Darden Corey Darden's mother?
Yes, she is.
Did detectives investigate who wrote the book?
Yes.
Who wrote the book?
Objection to 4143 and hearsay.
Overruled. Go ahead.
We found text messages in in Miss Richins' phone between her and a contact named Book Writing Lane, who is a book writer, publisher of some type, regarding them writing the book for her.
Are they a ghostwriter?
Yeah.
Scott, 2-121, please.
All right, guys, let's stay on topic. Let's focus on the testimony, y'all.
This is 141 pages.
I don't know what's
You've
happening
reviewed
over
this prior
here.
to today. Is this an accurate depiction of those text messages between Kouri Richins and Book Writing Lane?
Yes, this is a depiction of part of them.
Mr. Bloodworth, would you approach for a moment?
What the heck just happened here? All right, sidebar again. I actually like how fervent Ms. Nestor
Dr.
is.
Driscoll, are the bubbles in green?
It makes me feel comforted, you know, because I feel like there are times where we have defense attorneys who kind of just suck and they give up. At least she pushes really fucking hard.
Green, Kouri Richins, and the bubbles in blue, Book Writing Lane?
Yes, that's correct.
Is the murder mom in the gallery? I don't know if I saw Lisa Darden. Let me see really quick. I don't know if I saw her earlier. I'll try scanning again.
Book Writing Lane?
Yes, that's correct.
And does this lengthy text message exchange generally depict Kouri Richins engaging Book Writing Lane, providing them with ideas and circulating drafts of the narrative and the illustrations?
Yes, that's what it appears to me.
Your Honor, the state moves 2-121 into evidence.
Same objection, 40143 and hearsay, Your Honor.
All right. The defendant's objections are overruled. States 2-121
Oh, I will say this. Miss Nestor, I think her lips be a little dry, though. I just want to get her some water.
is admitted.
on
Members
my
of the
lips for
jury,
now.
with respect to States Exhibit 2-121, the green messages are authored by Kouri Richins. You may consider the green messages in 2-121 for their truth or any other purpose. The blue messages are authored by someone other than Kouri Richins. You cannot consider the blue messages in 2-121 for their truth. Rather, you may only consider them for the effect they had upon the listener, that is, Kouri Richins.
Which, to me, I think it's still confusing for an average person. But, okay.
2-121 is published.
Thank you, Your Honor, but the state wasn't going to go
my
through
apologies.
141 pages.
Yeah, very good.
Did Kouri Richins discuss the book with her family?
Yes. I'm sorry. Yes. Again, in text messages that we found on her phone, she has discussions with her family members about it.
Ooh!
Scott, 2-112, please. Is this a February 28th, 2023 text exchange between Kouri Richins and her brother DJ?
Yes. And again, Miss Richins is in green and DJ is in blue.
Is this an accurate depiction?
Yes.
Your Honor, the state moves to admit and publish 2-112.
Objective 40143 and hearsay, Your Honor.
Defendant's objections are overruled. Are you asking for the same instruction, Ms. Nestor?
No, sir.
Okay. 2-112 is admitted.
Move to publish, Your Honor.
Okay.
All right, Corey's laughing maniacal for some reason. There's like a screenshot of a shirt from her brother DJ. I don't know what it says though. Kouri, like, she goes, ha 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 ha. DJ says, what's the book called? There is a screenshot of the book. Kouri writes, it turned out so cute, just something for the boys and to understand the book writing process to get ready for the big one. Oh, what's the big one? He writes back, when is it on Amazon? Kouri says, we submit on Thursday to Amazon for review and they approve 24 to 40 hours and then it will be live. So I'm thinking Monday, I'll have the final draft tomorrow night. DJ writes back, awesome. So proud of you. Kouri says, thanks, bro. I'm so excited. I don't really feel like it's a real until I have an official copy though. So we'll see. I really just want to understand the book process, so I'm ready to go. I've already spoken to a writer for my book. I'm debating starting it now, and they could start on quite a few chapters before all this is over just to get a jump start. Not sure. DJ writes back, what's something like that cost, assuming you have to alternate names? Wait, are they thinking about writing a different book? All right. She writes back, so the kids' book wasn't that bad at all, assuming everything turns out the way it's supposed to cost $2,500. The bigger book, yes, we have to change names. I also want to talk to my attorney about other precautions to take to avoid a lawsuit from them for defamation, or if changing names is enough. That book will be expensive. Just for the ghostwriter to write the manuscript, 130 pages is $5,000. I'm assuming it'll be closer to 250 pages, so $10K for the manuscript. This lady does payment plans, so you just have to pay per month as it's being worked on. Total time, 2 to 4 months. I might just start my recordings. I don't read that fast. I might just start my recordings now and wait till sign up until May when we have more money come in, hopefully. Lol. Oh no, she can do like a tell-all. Her battle with the Richins family. We have a bunch of redacted messages that are probably not relevant. He writes back, did book launch? She writes back, not yet. I made some last minute changes. They will get the changes back to me today and then hopefully Friday. She also writes, I had them add in this picture in the beginning. Wait a second. I wonder if this is like one of those Etsy photos. So like, when my dog passed away, I got this really cool ornament. It was like one of those like, I think it was like Etsy or those like templates where you basically send pictures of what you look like and they like make the same graphic for you. And it's actually really cute. It's basically like one of like me and my husband, our backs are turned and then like our dogs are sitting next to me, but one of them's already dead because he's in heaven right now. So it's really cute. But that's kind of what it looks like. Because I feel like if you were to actually do a book cover that you're selling, you would want to have someone who's like you would want to hire someone like not just go on like a template website to create an animation or something like that, or yeah, not an animation, not go like a template website and create this illustration, right? You would actually want to hire like an artist to like really draw something out for you, especially if it's like a, you know, like something in your book. But it looks just like this. Good luck, sis. You have nothing to worry about. Stay calm, says DJ. Kouri says, thank you. You can log on and watch if you want to. 2 minutes. Is this the interview? Even
Stop
Chad
to
got
that.
more talent than Kouri in his book or other garbage.
-113.
You know, to be fair, I have not read Kouri's book yet, but based on what we've seen so far in Kouri's life story and her letters, it's probably bad.
Please.
All right, what's next?
Text exchange between Kouri Richins and her mother.
Yes.
Is Kouri Richins in green and her mother in blue?
Yes.
Is this an authentic depiction?
Yes, it is.
Your Honor, the state moves 2-113 into evidence and to publish.
Objection 4143 and hearsay. We don't need the instruction.
Defendant's objections are overruled. 2-113 is admitted.
Man, I wish I kept track of how many overruled there are for defendant's objections. I'll say we're over like 100 at this point, man. Mom writes, what's the name of the book? Kouri replies back, "Where are you?" This is March 8th. She sends a cover of the book. March 8th, 23. Mom writes, "No." I'm just assuming mom has a smoker's voice. Kouri writes back, "It's not on Amazon yet." Okay. Mom doesn't write much. "I will let you know." Haha, no, my title is "Are You With Me?" Well, bitch, you didn't put in quotation marks. How is she supposed to know? Damn. Ha ha ha, I don't know what I was thinking. Mom writes back. It's blank. Mom says, "Where is ya?" "Working in office." With a typo.
Scott 2-114.
Mom's here. Hey, that's Kouri's mom right there. I only recognize her because she was on 48 Hours.
Scott 2-114, please.
Why do we need these text messages, though? We know Kouri wrote the book. Was she going to say that she didn't write the book? Or, sorry, Kouri wrote the book, a.k.a. like her ghostwriter. We know that she authored it, right? Why are we having these text messages?
Oh, Your Honor, we took it down because it was being published.
Should be previewed now. Thank you.
No? I've been located. Oh my god, Bryce's pants. We're wondering where you were. You were lost ever since that party. No one ever found you ever again. Did she write the book? I mean, maybe
Sir,
she
is this a
ghostwritered.
March-
I don't know. We know she's the author.
22nd, 2023 text exchange. Sir, is this a March 22nd, 2023 text exchange between Kouri Richins and her brother DJ?
Yes, and just like before, Kouri Richins is the green bubbles and DJ is the blue bubbles.
Is this an accurate depiction?
Yes.
Your Honor, the state moves to admit 2-114 and publish.
40143 and hearsay, we don't need the instruction. Thank you, Your Honor.
Scott, would you zoom in for a minute? Understood. Defendant's objections to states 2-114.
Kouri writes to DJ, her brother, March 22nd, 2023. Yay, yay. He writes back. Yep, I think Carter Kouri sounds better. Oh, seriously? Are we doing the Wendy Adelson shit? Dad dies. Wife had nothing to do with it. But you know what? Let's change my kid's last name. Is that what they're trying to do? What's Carter Kouri sounds better. Carter Kouri sounds, what does that mean? Because her last name is the maiden name is Darden. Maybe they're talking about something else. All right, he says, "Yep, I think Carter Kouri sounds better." Whatever that means. How do you make per book? Oh, how much do you make per book? Oh, we're about to find out. Ha ha ha! It sounds way better. Oh my god, they would die. It would be so funny. He writes, "Yes, it would." She says, "So on Amazon, I only make $5.35 a book. They print and ship. I'm working a website that you can buy the book though, and I'll make $10 a book." He writes back, "Nice." Doesn't really work much. "Yeah, the next 30 days are just extreme marketing. My goal is to sell 100,000 books by the end of the year." You think she made it?
Your Honor, may we approach on a legal issue?
Of course.
They were talking about pseudonyms, so I don't know if Carter Kouri was, I don't know, going to be a pseudonym for her next book that she was going to write. But there was something that she was considering writing and hiring a ghostwriter for, but she would have to change names. So Was that a pseudonym for one of her sons? Okay, we're on the sidebar right now with Miss Nestor wearing, what do you call that fabric again? Tweed, I think. Tweed. Miss Nestor wearing red and white picnic-looking tweed with Mr. Bloodworth. Mr. Bloodworth wearing the same damn thing every day. That or he just likes the same color suits. All right, Corey's looking over. Driscoll's sitting there for a tie. We're conferring with the judge right now. All right, I might just hop in just a little bit faster. Oh, I think they're taking a restroom break. Judge, how many cups of coffee did you drink today? Hi, Moondog, how are you? What's going on? Random, but I started casually playing Final Fantasy X on the side. Such a cute game. Oh, man, my shoulders are cracking.
Have a seat, folks. Ms. Nestor.
Yes, sir.
Mr. O'Driscoll's part of the
That's
investigation.
fine.
Okay.
That's fine.
You can talk to Detective O'Driscoll during the break. Folks, we're going to take a break until 2:10. Thank you. Court's in recess.
2:10. Something tells me they didn't come back on time. Let's see. 19. Did they come? Oh, they did come back on time. Well. I'm proud of them. All right, guys. Well, we can skip to the future.
Back in.
Your Honor.
Mr. Bloodworth.
No, Your Honor.
I love Final Fantasy X. I really like 9. I know it's really great. 10 has been pretty fun so far. I'm just in the very beginning, though. Oh, really? There's a 10 concert coming up? Ooh. We're in LA. All right, let's forward just a tiny bit. Ooh, Mr. Ramos and Mr. Scott. Y'all matching. It looks like salmon ties?
Have a seat, folks. Thank you.
Salmon, orange. Or actually, maybe it's more pink for Scott.
All right, you're still under oath.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Bloodworth, please proceed.
Detective, did your investigation eventually lead you to Carmen Lobber?
Yes, it did.
How?
This is a bit of a long-winded answer, so I'll try to just go step by step.
Am I playing the new Resident Evil? Not yet, but my friend let me play it for free. So, when this trial is over, hopefully, or if I have a weekend where I'm not doing a recap, maybe I'll play Resident Evil.
We had the information from the autopsy, the tox results, as I mentioned. We had just gotten the downloads from Miss Richins and Eric's phones, and we're starting to go through them. We started comparing what was in the phones with phone billing records for their carriers. We found discrepancies between what was in the phone billing records and what was actually in Miss Richins' phone as far as call logs and text messages. We started looking at the most frequently contacted phone numbers in Miss Richins' phone and in Eric's phones. We found that there were a high number of communications between Miss Richins and the phone number for Carmen Lobber. So we started looking into Carmen Lobber and found that she had a history of drug use and drug distribution. We found that she was on drug court probation in Wasatch County. My partner, Detective Maynard, actually had previous involvements with Carmen.
Wait, did they find out before the PI did, or did the PI find out first? Because the PI also found out, was like, oh, I was very concerned because, Carmen Lobber, well, she was associated with a bunch of drug stuff. She was arrested, drug court, had a dirty P.
Knew a little bit about her. We started looking at who else was, or I'm sorry, we spoke with investigators from Wasatch County that were familiar with Carmen's case, and then learned that Mr. Nick Von Savage was also in drug court with her, and that they were pretty good friends. We started pulling phone billing records for Mr. Von Savage and found that he had a high number of contacts, communications with the Gunnison State Prison. And so we went to the Gunnison State Prison and requested the phone calls between inmates and Mr. Von Savage. We started listening to those phone calls because they're all recorded. And we found an instance where Mr. Von Savage was speaking to an inmate on the phone, and they were discussing getting an Xbox controller for the inmate. And he said, either you buy it or have Carmen buy it and I'll pay you back.
Wait, did I hear Xbox? What did you say?
Those phone calls because they're all recorded.
Okay.
And we found an instance where Mr. Von Savage was speaking to an inmate on the phone, and they were discussing getting an Xbox controller for the inmate. And he said, either you buy it or have Carmen buy it and I'll pay you back. Nick said something to the effect of, no, I can't have Carmen do it. I just tried to give her money the other day, and she told me that she had just made a bunch of money selling illicit street drugs. So that obviously, and that phone call took place on March 4th, the day that Eric died. So that gave us more reason to look into Carmen Lobber. We started surveilling her. As part of our investigation into her, we collected the trash from her home. And in going through the trash, we found drug paraphernalia, specifically tinfoil with burn marks and residue on it. And based on my training experience, that's indicative of somebody smoking a substance off of the tinfoil. Based on that information, we then applied for a search warrant.
At this point, I'm going to object to the narrative.
Holy shit. Just let him continue the fucking narrative. It's getting so good. Wait, so Nick Von... Sorry, can I just go back just a tiny bit? Hold on. That's so crazy.
Inmates and Mr. Bon Savage, and then learned that Mr. Nick Bon Savage was also in drug court with her, and that they were pretty good friends.
Yep.
We started pulling phone billing records for Mr. Bon Savage and found that he had a high number of contacts, communications with the Gunnison State Prison. And so we went to the Gunnison.
Wow. That is, guys, that is so wild. Nick Von Savage, big mouth, was talking on a recorded call. And that's how they found out about Carmen, the illicit drugs. But then like, oh, dude, done for.
State Prison and requested the phone calls between inmates and Mr. Bon Savage.
Okay. I just wanted to make sure I heard that right the first time. All right, let's go forward.
Eric died. So call took place. So that obviously, and that phone call took place on March 4th, the day that Eric died. So that gave us more reason to look into Carmen Lobber. We started surveilling her. As part of our investigation into her, we collected the trash from her home. And in going through the trash, we found drug paraphernalia, specifically tinfoil with burn marks and residue on it. And based on my training experience, that's indicative of somebody smoking a substance off of the tinfoil. Based on that information, we then applied for a search warrant.
At this point, I'm going to object to the narrative.
Oh, I'm sorry, a moment. Mr. Bloodworth, go ahead.
Sir, what did you do next?
Based on that information that we had collected, we wrote
That's all that he had to do to cure it. Come on, defense.
a search warrant for Carmen Lobber's residence, for her vehicle, and for her person. And that included, among other things, cell phones.
Did you execute that search warrant on April the 26th, 2023?
Yes.
And did you personally execute the portion involving searching Carmen Lobber's home?
Yes, I did.
Did you find any evidence of a crime in her home?
Yes. In Miss Lobber's bedroom, we found THC products, paraphernalia, and a firearm under her bed.
And as it relates to Miss Lobber specifically, what was the problem with the firearm?
She was a convicted felon, and by state statute, she's not allowed to be in possession of a firearm.
When searching
Okay, because I was curious, how did Carmen get in trouble? I thought she got in trouble because some other unrelated drug shit, and then they searched her, but then they were like, oh, ooh. Give me a second. All right, sorry about that. Okay, so yeah, I thought the reason why Carmen initially got in trouble was because it was unrelated, probation violation. And then when they had her incarcerated, they were like, oh, hey, you're the same Carmen Lobber that's appearing Kouri Richins' phone, so tell us what you have. I didn't know they had this much on Carmen, all because Carmen's best friend decided to yap on a recorded jailhouse call to a friend that was incarcerated. That's crazy. Your corgi sounds like a barky. He a little barky. Yeah, he a little barky. He's a little baby. He's a puppy one who's he's 1 year old.
Carmen Lobber's room Did you also find a newspaper clipping of Eric Richins' obituary?
Yes.
Scott, can I get 8-15 split screened with 8-16, please?
Wow, you can't make this up. This is wild.
Sir, is that photograph on the left? It's labeled 8-15R, an accurate depiction of a photograph of Eric Richins' obituary in Carmen Lobber's room.
Yes, it is.
Is 8-16R, the photograph on the right, an accurate depiction just of the same obituary, but just a closer view?
Yeah, zoomed in from the original, correct.
Your Honor, the state moves to admit and publish 8-15 and 8-15R and 8-16R.
Oh,
The
Porky.
15R and 816R are admitted.
Detective, what was your...
I wonder. That's so sad. The newspaper clipping of Eric. I wondered because she felt like she may have had something to do with it, or she's like, "Oh, hey, I know this guy. Like, let me just clip this and just put this on the wall."
impression of kind of the collection of material on the left?
Based on knowing that Carmen was in drug court and knowing a little bit about how that program works, it seems like she had all of these inspirational quotes that helped motivate her through her progression in drug court, and amongst them were photos of her loved ones, her family, and then amongst all of that was Eric Richins' obituary.
Dead center, wasn't it?
Yep, right in the middle of the mirror.
Who's a detective that should not be named? Who? I don't know who you're
Scott,
talking
can
about.
I get 8-18, please?
Oh, the undercover agent? I don't remember.
Detective, is this an accurate depiction of a photograph of a C&E hat that you found in Carmen Lobber's room?
Yes.
Your Honor, the state moves to admit and publish 8-18.
No objection.
8-18 is admitted.
And then can you, Scott, zoom in? There we go.
Yeah, that's the C&E stonemasonry logo on that gray hat.
Thank you,
Can't
Scott.
see it.
Simultaneous with your search of Carmen Lobber's home, did another deputy stop Carmen Lobber while she was driving?
Yes, we planned it that way because we had a warrant for Carmen's person and her vehicle as well.
Did that deputy seize her phone?
Yes.
During that stop, did that deputy find evidence of a crime?
Yes, he found that Carmen was driving on a suspended license.
Oh boy.
Did he arrest her for driving on a suspended license?
Yes, he did.
Did that stop occur in Wasatch County?
Yes.
Did that deputy then book Carmen Lobber into the Wasatch County Jail?
Yes, he did.
Did you and Detective Maynard then interview Carmen Lobber at the Wasatch?
Okay, that's what I thought happened. I thought that was the only thing that happened, and that she was caught driving a suspended license, and then that's when they started asking her for information. But according to this, they had already searched her place and had a bunch of stuff on her.
In Wasatch County? Stop, did that deputy find he stopped Carmen Lobber while she was driving?
What's the date of that? So that's a hat.
Stonemasonry logo on that gray hat.
Thank you, Scott. Simultaneous with your search of Carmen Lobber's home, did another deputy stop Carmen Lobber while she was driving?
Yes, we planned it that way because we had a warrant for Carmen's person and her vehicle as well.
Did that deputy seize her phone?
Yes.
During that stop, did that deputy find evidence of a crime?
Yes, he found that Carmen was driving on a suspended license.
Did he arrest her for driving on a suspended license?
Yes, he did.
Did that stop occur in Wasatch County?
Yes.
That's fucking crazy, dude. That's, yeah, very, very stupid. You were giving a chance in drug court. You had this firearm on you. You're still doing the drugs. You're driving on a suspended license. Like, you're just asking to just get caught again. That's fucking wild. I hope Carmen's in a better place now, because this, back in the day, Carmen was wild. That's fucking crazy.
Did that deputy then book Carmen Lobber into the Wasatch County Jail?
Yes, he did.
Did you and Detective Maynard then interview Carmen Lobber at the Wasatch County Jail?
Yes, we interviewed her several times over a number of days.
What was your approach to interviewing her?
So, as I said before, my partner, Detective Maynard, had previous involvement and knowledge of Carmen Lobber. He knew that she had a history of self-preservation, and offering information in exchange for help with her charges. So we knew that going into it. But on top of that, after serving the warrant on her home and being in her bedroom, finding Eric's obituary, it was apparent to me that she probably had some level of guilt or concern over her possible involvement in Eric's death.
Object to speculation and move to strike and non-responsive.
All of it or just parts?
You're the judge. Oof.
Over her possible involvement in Eric's death.
Object to speculation and move to strike and non-responsive.
All of it or just parts?
Just the last part.
Okay. Can you be specific about the content of the last part you're moving to strike?
How he assumed Carmen felt by what he saw.
Okay. That part is struck as
Oh, why is it spinning? Give me a second. Think. Long Carmen is struggling just a tiny bit today. Let me see if I can fast forward through this. Hello. All right, we're still spinning. Guys, press 1 in chat if you can hear me. You can see me, right? The screen is spinning. I'm not spinning. The screen is spinning. Oh, it's fixed now. All right. All right. Well, you guys can see me. That's good. You blame Spectrum? Well, good news. I have fiber coming in. They finally set it up, so I cannot wait to jump on that fiber. We used to have spectacular internet before moving here. And we lived in San Francisco. We had 1 gig up and down for it was like $30 a month. It was so cheap. Okay, it'd be spinning a little bit. All right, I'm doing my best to skip through this. Sidebar. Corey's got something stuck in our teeth. All right, let's see if we can speed it up a little bit. La 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 la. La 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 la. You're in LA County, it sucks. We need fiber. We need fiber. I mean, honestly, Spectrum hasn't been too bad, but for me, I need upload. I need upload speed. Usually it's like upload is like 10 or 20. I'm like, no, I need like 100, 200, 300, 500 is preferred. 1 gig would be great. You think she's eating candy?
Ladies and gentlemen, jury, I misunderstood Ms. Nestor's objection.
Oh, he understood Ms. Nestor's objection. Okay.
My granting of the motion to strike was incorrect. You may consider Detective O'Driscoll's testimony, give it whatever weight you see fit.
Oh, we are not striking. Well, can he please repeat it? Because I completely forgot what he said. Also, Judge, talk into your microphone. I can barely hear you. I'm going to boost up the audio again. Fiber's not available
So in
everywhere in LA.
addition to
If you're in like downtown, it's available, but it depends on what part of LA you're in.
what you believe to be Carmen Lobber's motive for self-preservation upon seeing Eric Richins' obituary, am I right that you thought she might also have some motivation related to her potential involvement in Eric Richins' death?
Correct. That was my impression.
We have Spectrum. Dun 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 dun.
What did you tell Carmen Lobber when you first interviewed her?
When we first spoke to Miss Lobber, we sat down with her. We explained that what we had found in her home would potentially violate her conditions of her drug court, which would put her on the hook for, I believe, multiple felony charges of distribution that she was in drug court for. as well as the new charges with the firearm and the paraphernalia and THC products. We told her that we were investigating Eric Richins' death and that we believe that she may have information about his death that could be helpful to us. And we told her that if she was willing to speak to us about any information she might know, that we could help her with her charges in Wasatch County, as well as the new charges from the execution of the search warrant.
Did you then immediately question her?
No, we didn't ask her any questions at that time. We told her that this was the situation. We wanted her to think on whether or not she wanted to participate in our proposal in talking with us, and then we let her sit and think on it for a few days.
How many times have you interviewed drug dealers?
Dozens, if not over 100 times.
Was anything about interviewing Carmen Lobber more difficult than interviewing most?
No, the defense finally got a legit objection. The judge was like, never mind, because I think initially he granted her objection to strike the part where it was like speculation and non-responsive. And he's like, oh, which part? And she was like, oh, this part. And he's like, okay. And then I think after the sidebar, he's like, never mind. I misunderstood what Miss Nestor said. You can take the witness's answer and use do whatever you want with it. Right? I feel like she got denied.
Drug dealers.
Yes, there was more time that had elapsed since the incident that we were talking to her about than what is typical for our interviews. So she had trouble with memory, remembering details of what had happened. And then again, what I spoke about earlier, she had a history of self-preservation. So she tended to minimize her involvement and hold back as much as she could, which is typical of drug dealers that we talk to.
I wonder the PI guided them to her. Right. I want to know the date of them listening to the jailhouse call with Nick Von Savage and the inmate, and then the date for the search warrant for her cell phone, and then the day that she was arrested. I don't believe he mentioned dates for those.
They won't give you any more than they have to until they feel like they need to.
Did Carmen Lobber initially inform you that she bought drugs for Kouri Richins?
Not initially. Like I said, she very much minimized her involvement. When she first started talking about it, she said, there's a little bit that I know, and I want to help you with the little bit that I know. But then as we asked her more questions and got more into it, she was more forthcoming with the information that she had, and ultimately told us that Miss Richins had contacted her to ask her for pain pills.
And did she ultimately tell you that she bought drugs on Kouri Richins' behalf from Susan Kohler and from a friend of Nicole Cummings named Robert Crozier?
Yes.
Did she appear that she wanted to cooperate but was having difficulty remembering timeline and details regarding the drug transactions?
Object to leading.
Overruled.
Not only did it appear that way, but she was explicit in saying that several times, that she was having difficulty remember but wanted to help with what she could.
At various points during your interview, did you provide Kouri Richins with information to jog her memory?
I believe you meant Carmen Lobber. You said Kouri Richins.
Carmen Lobber.
Yes, we provided content from her phone. We provided her with phone billing records that had timestamps that helped us establish a timeline. We showed her maps. We showed her property records. Anything that we could find that would mostly help us establish a timeline and order of events.
Did you stress to Carmen Lobber that she needed to be truthful?
Yeah, several times we told her that we didn't want her to try to make things up, that only tell us what she remembered and only tell us what was truthful. And then we also stressed that we needed a great deal of detail in the things that she was telling us, not vague comments.
Did you tell her that you did not want her to speculate on anything?
More leading. Object.
Overruled.
Yes, I believe there are multiple instances in the transcripts and the videos that show when we said,
Miss Nestor sounds so pissed.
don't try to guess at what we're asking you. Only tell us what you can remember.
Did you stress to Carmen Lobber?
Now, remember, when the defense was crossing Carmen Lobber, they were insinuating that the detectives were the ones that were putting ideas in Carmen's head, and Carmen, either because she has a learning disability possibly, or maybe because Carmen wanted to get in the good graces of the state prosecution's office, or maybe both, that she went along with it. Okay. And that fentanyl wasn't her idea. It was something that was planted by the detectives interviewing her. So let's watch the interview and see what went down.
That you needed to corroborate any information that she provided.
Yes, we were explicit in telling her that any kind of immunity or assistance or help that she would get from prosecutor's office would be dependent on not just her telling us what she knew, but giving us information that would allow us to corroborate that information.
And did you stress to her that you needed details, in particular, details to corroborate the information?
Object to leading.
Overruled.
Yes, and that discussion got deeper and deeper the more we talked to her. We kept stressing we need more detail. These are the type of details that we need, and it just kept going from there.
Did you and/or Detective Maynard interview Carmen Lobber 6 times between April the 27th, 2023, and May the 13th, 2023?
April 27, 2023. 2023, and then May the 7th. Okay. Actually, we did have the dates of the interviews from prior testimony. You're in, Ventura County. I know where Ventura is. We went a little mini vacation there. Nice area. You're in LA. It sucks. Whose room is that? It looks like a teenager's wall. That was Carmen Lobber's room.
Yes, I wasn't there for every single one, but either myself or Detective Maynard was, yes.
Why 6 interviews?
As we spoke to Miss Lobber, she would give us information that she could remember. We would take that information back and work on corroborating it with other evidence, phone records, other details from other witnesses, and then we would go back. We would ask her more questions, try to get more information, more details. It was just a step-by-step, iterative process that took several days until we felt like we had the complete picture of what her involvement was.
Did those interviews total about 10 hours?
I believe so, yes.
Were they audio and video recorded?
Yes.
Have you reviewed transcripts of those interviews?
Yes, I have.
Do those transcripts total about 900 pages?
Yes, I believe so.
Oh, this is the 900 pages of transcript that the the state wanted to enter in as evidence because they said that the defense in cross-examination, the way that they were questioning Carmen Lobber, it made it seem like, like she was lying or she was hiding things or she was being truthful or that she was highly suggestive of information that, it was fentanyl and not other drugs. And so in order to rehabilitate that, the state was like, we're entering in 900 pages of transcript. And then the judge was like, no. And then that's probably what they were arguing about for the past day and a half. Definitely this interview. So I highly doubt we're going to listen to 10 hours worth of interview, but we'll see how long.
Did you listen to defense counsel's cross-examination of Carmen Lobber regarding your and Detective Maynard's interviews?
I did.
Yep.
Did you observe how defense picked certain sentences throughout the 900 pages?
Yes.
In the full context of the interviews, do you believe that those few sentences fairly and accurately depicted the tone and tenor of your interview?
Object, Your Honor.
Nope.
What's the basis of the objection?
He's trying to make impeachment sound improper, and it's totally not improper. It is.
Don't make speaking objections. Are you objecting to the form of the question?
Ms. Nestor, I know you fired up Ms. Nestor, but don't piss off the judge now.
What's the basis of the objection?
He's trying to make impeachment sound improper, and it's totally not improper. It is.
Don't make speaking objections. Are you objecting to the form of the question?
Yes.
What is the objection to the form of the question?
Your Honor, we object to the form of the question on the grounds that it is seeking a legal conclusion, on the grounds that it is leading, and on the grounds that it
Can someone give Ms. Nestor a microphone, please? It needs to be closer. I can barely hear her.
is calling for speculation.
Overruled. Go ahead, Dave.
No, I don't feel like those segments that they picked out at all represented our interviews with Carmen.
She's so pissed.
Do you think that those segments without context are misleading?
Object to leading.
Overruled. You may answer.
Is Corey staring
Yes,
at
I
the
believe
judge?
they're misleading.
One of those segments said, or quoted you saying that you needed details to ensure that Kouri Richins will get convicted of murder, and that shortly thereafter Carmen Lobber asked for blueprints. What was the context of that discussion?
So as I said before, when we were discussing with Carmen, it was very slow moving at first. And we were trying to emphasize to her the level of detail that we needed to be able to offer her something from the prosecution's office for her cooperation. And part of that emphasis.
Yeah, and this was brought up from arguments from days ago after Carmen Lobber testified, and the state was like, hey, there's 900 pages of this interview we want to introduce into the evidence.
This was trying to describe to her the level of detail that would be needed in a courtroom. And it was probably poor choice of words in hindsight, but that was what we were stressing is the type of information that is acceptable to be used in a court.
Defense counsel also picked the words "get out of jail free card" that Detective Maynard uttered. What was the context of "get out of jail free card"?
So the comment that Detective Maynard made was coupling her, referencing whatever prosecution would offer her in exchange for her testimony, coupled with
was offering her in exchange of testimony, and it is circling again. All right. I don't know if it's something that I just have to forward through or if it will fix himself. Ah. What about Court TV? You think Court TV is like backed up? Should try Court TV.
And Lobber, can you guys write it down and I will sign it?
the importance of the investigation into Eric's death as opposed to any subsequent drug.
Well, it all comes from one feed, so I don't know if it's just law and crime, but let's try.
One of those segments said, or quoted you saying that you needed details to ensure that Kouri Richins will get convicted of murder, and that shortly thereafter, Carmen Lobber asked for blueprints.
All right, we already went through this. I'm switching over to Court TV, see if it's better.
We were stressing is the type of information that is acceptable to be used in a court.
Defense counsel also picked the words "get out of jail free card" that Detective Maynard uttered. What was the context of "get out of jail free card"?
So the comment that Detective Maynard made was coupling her, referencing whatever prosecution would offer her in exchange for her testimony, coupled with the fact that there was now a family that didn't have a brother, that didn't have a son, and the importance of the investigation into Eric's death as opposed to any subsequent drug investigations that Ms. Lobber was involved in.
Defense counsel also picked the words from Carmen Lobber, "Can you guys write it down and I will sign it?" What was that context?
We were trying to get Carmen to complete a written statement to go along with the scattered information that we had been receiving through our interview process so that we could establish a more chronological timeline. And she was expressing concerns about not wanting to be writing things down in front of other inmates in the cell block. So she wanted us to write it down instead.
And what did you say?
We said, no, that's not the way it works.
Scott, can I get, please, 8-58R?
Kouri making lots of faces over there.
Is this a video of various portions of your May 2nd, 2023 interview of Carmen Lobber that we have just discussed?
Yes, it is.
Your Honor, the state moves to publish 8-58R.
Just the ones we've already discussed. The objections, Your Honor.
All right, interviews coming in.
8 signed by the court on the record.
8-58, D for demonstrative, R for redacted, DR.
8-58DR.
That's because he didn't deserve it. Like, it's just not me. Like, I can tell you, yes, I affected people's life by telling them.
Right.
Oh, fuck no. Court TV has this fat thing here. I think at some point they remove it, though. Should I give them some time? They do remove it. Like 6 minutes in, they start removing it. All right, let's go back to law and crime, and then we'll go back to Court TV if needed. They need to move their logo like somewhere else, okay? Not the logo, but the labels.
That's because he didn't deserve it. Like, it's just not me. Like, I can tell you, yes, I affected people's life by telling them.
Right.
Okay, I affected my own life by doing no.
What I'm getting at.
No, whether it was intentionally, whether he had a bad problem, or whether he was hurt, I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
But either way, if it was done purposely, he didn't deserve that.
Totally
But I don't
agreed.
know that for sure because I don't know their personal situation.
Totally agreed.
I would never do that ever to anybody.
I'm saying that we're going to need you to really settle down and maybe even take a pad and paper
Even if I get
and try to write
out
out
tomorrow,
some
whatever, we
details.
meet again, I can go through
Well, we're going to talk
whatever.
about that too.
If I need to go through whatever I need to go through, figure it out.
But you know what I'm saying? These details that you're giving us are kind of hazy.
That's because
And
it's to me.
and it's common for people to try to kind of minimize their own involvement, but we're not interested in smacking you with this. But this, at the end of the day, it was the reason we're here. This is a
Like, I don't know if I
this
should
is a
reach out to
homicide
Susan Kohler and
investigation.
say, hey, do you know about approximately the time when I got those pills from you? I don't know if she's going to.
Probably not a good idea. But I'm just saying we're going to need you to kind of settle down and think about details and timelines. Because we understand that you weren't a part of, conspiring with
Yeah.
Kouri. that the details about everything we've been talking about are going to be important.
Right.
The homicide investigation.
Oh, God, that's not good.
Yeah, it is.
That is.
It's something that like none of us are used to, right? We don't do it that often. It's pretty crazy for us too.
Yeah.
Not just you to think about. Like, it's crazy.
Yeah, no, yeah.
So right now, we're in a good place to where we've got the information that we were hoping you had and needed from you, right? But there's a difference between us knowing and understanding what happened and us being able to present that to prosecutors who have to present it to a courtroom, who have to present it to a jury, right? That has to be way more detailed down the line the further it gets into the system, the process.
Right.
Okay, so that's what we need your help with at this point, is nailing down all those details. And like Eric said, if that means we have you fill out something in writing and, oh shoot, that's not how it happened, scratched out, rewrite it, whatever you need to do, right? Write down something as far as you remember it right now, and then we can work on the details as we continue to talk about it, as we check phone records, as we, do all of our part, our side to corroborate what you're saying, right? And I think a good starting point for that is a written statement. For you to sit down and write out what you told us in the best order that you can remember.
My favorite now, everything I just told you, I probably wouldn't remember what order I told you in.
It's okay. And that's fine, because you know what?
It's really hard to understand what Carmen is saying, but we are essentially at the point where Carmen doesn't really want to be involved. She doesn't think Eric deserved to die. If it actually happened, it was on purpose. And the law enforcement, they just want her to just write something down so they can corroborate what Carmen said. But they're like, hey, a good start with this is for you to write a written statement. And Carmen looks a little stressed out about that.
But we want to make sure we get the right story. And so the way you're remembering it is all you can give us. You can't make something up that you don't remember, right?
Right.
So just tell us what
That's
you
why
remember.
I can't remember.
Even if it's like, I remember it was cold outside, I remember there was
Like I said, I
on the ground.
remember there was, because it was very light snow, like I said. It wasn't something that I had to wear boots in or anything.
When does the time change now? When did we go? March
or April.
Is it March 15th?
Yeah, something like that.
So,
It was dark, because I didn't even know where this house was. So I had to use Google
so what
Maps, I wanna
time of
say.
the day was it? I mean, if it was dark.
It was toward the
5:30.
evening.
It's crazy. Carmen's voice sounds so different. She sounds like someone who talks who has like no teeth. There are some people like lose their teeth and they don't have like gums left, and they have like a certain way of like sounding when they talk. Kind of sounds like how Carmen talks right now.
So, afternoonish, evening?
No. It was darker because I had to use the light on the car.
To see the fire pit or...
So I had to pull into the driveway and pull the light onto the fire pit.
Gotcha.
Okay, let's say this is the house. And if I'm coming that way, and I know I turned right, came down the street, I was right there, and I pulled into the driveway to slant, and there was just it wasn't a big fire pit, like it was a tiny fire pit. It wasn't like, probably, those white cinder blocks, not cinder blocks, but the white flat rocks that people build.
Yeah.
Okay, so it wasn't big. It wasn't a big, deep one.
The shallow one.
Real, yeah. Like I want to say there was like maybe 2 or 3 on top, and that was it. It wasn't even a complete one.
And what was the money packaged in? Didn't just leave it loose? Did it have a rubber band around it? Was it in a bag? Envelope? Was the envelope marked with like a bank or just like a plain white envelope?
Just a plain white one, I believe. It didn't have nobody's name, didn't have nothing on it. It was just up against, like in the fire pit again. Like that, so.
So I have a question. Thinking about all your communications with Kouri.
Aaron, can we pause it for just one moment?
Sure.
Okay, defense is requesting the pause.
Ms. Lewis, if you'd approach.
They are approaching.
Wow. Okay.
Scott,
All
please
right.
proceed.
We are resuming.
On the phone, maybe in a cloud, maybe anything like that.
I wouldn't even know how to operate a cloud.
Okay. Would it be in your phone?
I have no idea.
Like,
You guys have all my phones, don't you?
like did you erase?
I mean, that's what I was told.
That's why I asked you about them being deleted, because
I don't know,
you
those
can see on your
are
phone.
I mean, you guys.
Well, I think that's a fair question, Carmen, and we're getting down to the brass tacks of this, and so I feel like we owe it to you to kind of start talking to you about what we do know. What we do know is within a day or two after Eric dying, you got a new phone. Okay?
I think that's because I'm died.
Possibly. We also know that there are texts between you and Kouri that were deleted. I delete them too. Again, we're not looking to put new charges on you, but we're getting down to that area. We're going to need to be more open and honest with each other, because there's things
Oh man. So I think, she must have had some sort of inkling after Eric died. Because remember when she was testifying in the stand, she did say that like, oh, I didn't know until Eric died until I forgot who told her. It was either when someone told her or oh no. She didn't know that he died of fentanyl poisoning until the detectives told her. But she did find out that Eric died a few days after his passing. But law enforcement is saying that, within a day or two of Eric's death, you got a new phone. They were text deleted between you and Kouri.
That we're talking to you about that conflict with some evidence that we have to an extent. And again, I'm not here to beat you over the head with it. As a cooperating witness, that information is actually really good for you. And frankly, it's now a good time to kind of talk to her about the conversation I had with McKay. So here's where it's at with McKay and your drug court, okay? They are looking for, and this can be upsetting, but let me finish. They are looking to pull your drug court deal and ask for 7 years on your 2 firsts. 5 years for the one felony, and then a 40%.
Jeez, 7 years on your 2 firsts, 5 years for the first. That's 1 felony, and then oh my gosh,
Portion for the second for 7 years. The only exception to that, and the only thing that they're willing to kind of help you out with, is if you can help us out with this.
And by so, he means like, give us the details that will ensure Kouri gets convicted of murder.
Oh my God.
This is a serious case, Carmen. I'm not
that
trying
is way more of my.
I know, and listen,
Don't freak out, okay? Because this is a long process.
And this is a good thing, and this is good news for you. So
that's a portion that the defense played for the jury or read out loud for the jury. Provide us the details to ensure that Kouri is convicted of murder.
there's one more consideration that McKay has. Do you need a minute?
No, go.
And
All right, I'm going to switch over to... Oh, not yet. Okay, we're almost... I think McKay is the prosecution. All right, I'm going to go back to court TV because now we can actually see the whole transcript. All right, we're at 76. 76 was the timestamp, 7613. We are right around here. All right. Back to court TV, y'all.
do you need a minute?
No, go.
And this is kind of funny because...
It's nothing funny about
Well, the second part is, it looks like you guys figured out how and when people were going to test, looking at your text messages, you and Bon Savage.
We just know
And that's fucking awesome. I want to know how you did. Are you tracking with me, what I'm saying?
Oh, that's why the defense asked about that. Law enforcement said you and Nick Von Savage figured out when people were going to test. And he was like, well, that's kind of cool. How'd you guys know?
Catching what you're throwing, believe me.
All right, there's a time skip right now, about, I think, 6 minutes, 5 minutes?
We need hard details. There's no more
I'm going to do whatever because I've struggled so hard to get me where I'm at.
That's great motivation.
And I literally want to complete drug court and I want to move out of state. I want to leave all this behind.
Well, that's the only way you get
My
people out of your
past.
life.
Like, I don't want no ties with nobody. I want to change my phone number. Me and Troy were talking about it. Like, completion of drug court. My
Mr.
sister
Las
had
Vegas,
it.
Troy.
Don't call him. Yeah, I told him you call him that. He laughed. I said, you know, you're known as Mr. Vegas.
I think that's what you need to do, Carmen.
Even my daughter's
get
on
out of
board.
here and start over.
And he's an amazing person. Like, I've never had somebody that came in my life. Like,
That's a good thing.
I'm willing, like, day of graduation, I want to be gone. Like, I want to leave Heidi's house. I want no talk to nobody in my life. I don't.
We have some hurdles here.
And that's why I said I no longer want to work for Kouri's. Story, sorry. I don't want. I want to do what I can help do, what needs to be done to fix this.
Right.
Well, I feel like that as you were telling us that, you know, there was some talk about can you get what MJ had, and it was kind of very superficial. Can you retell that story with all the detail you can remember?
I really can't. Like, I don't even know if it was, because like I said, I can barely remember some of it because it was so long ago. But I want to say it was the Michael Jackson, and like I said,
So tell me how.
I want to say it's a Michael Jackson. Okay, we're kind of all over the place right now. It was barely so long ago.
So I want to say it was the Michael Jackson, and like I said,
So tell me how that conversation would be structured. She sends you a text, and she tells you.
I want to say maybe she did say that.
She says, "Can you get?"
She said it first to Michael Jackson, and that I know because.
And so tell me how that would have been said, because I didn't know Michael Jackson died.
I didn't know he did either. Like I said,
I knew it was a drug overdose, but like not specifically fentanyl.
Was it?
I just looked it up.
Look it up because I'm kidding too, but.
So the thought was insinuated that she wanted you to get something that somebody could die from.
I know one thing that when we got the one, it wasn't dark enough. I don't even know how fentanyl really goes.
So there was a couple of, there was several transactions.
There was one.
Okay, now we're getting somewhere.
I can see it in your face.
Several transactions.
So I wanted, it's so confusing, but okay. So I want to say when she asked, but like I said, I can't remember when you think.
We'll give you all the time in the world that you need to think and remember, Carmen. But
it's
I want you to know that if you're going to work with us here, in order
it would
for you
be
to
so
be
easy if you
credible,
had like pieces that we can like blueprints.
Here's the biggest piece.
I don't want to be that big piece.
Well, the good news is that big piece helps you out
and that's what. Like I said,
you hold all the
I
cards.
love Eric. He was a damn good dude, and he didn't deserve it. It was done intentionally. He did not deserve it.
We believe you, and that's why we're here working on what your get out of jail free card looks like, based on this information. That there's 3 little boys that don't have a dad. There's a family that doesn't have a brother.
Oh, and I get that.
Corey's at with the deal, but
Okay, there's a reference to the get out of jail free card. So again, in the context of, there's boys out there that don't have a father, family out there who doesn't have a brother, mother out there that doesn't have a husband, but we don't know if she cares about that.
Like you guys said, she's living her life right now, and that's everybody else fucking and suffering. Like them
that's
little
what
boys
it appears.
love their daddies.
I'm sure they did.
I've seen it. Eric was that was his private possession. Them boys were his everything. And people complain about he was gone all the time, or he worked so much. But you know what? At the end of the night, when he come in, them boys were there. And he was, like I said, that it weighed heavy on me.
What? So we need to start getting this on paper. What's going to happen tomorrow with your OSC hearing? You're going to appear for it, and McKay's just going to say that he's not prepared to speak to it to get us a day or 2.
Okay.
So we're going to come back tomorrow.
But can we get it cleared up this week?
I think we can get it cleared up as far as our end of it as quickly as we can get a timeline down. I know this is exhausting. I'm concerned about sending paperwork back with you in your cell because then everybody's going to be like, what's that?
Yeah, can you guys just write it and I sign it?
All right, so this is the part where she says, can you just write it and I sign it? Because the detective was like, I'm concerned about sending paper back with you in your cell. Because then everyone's going to be like, what's that? What's that? So we are getting more context to all the cross-examination questions that the defense was asking Carmen Lobber. And I think it's good to play this interview because we get to see how things actually went down and then the meaning of it. Yes, it might sound bad if you isolate the statement or the question, but when you listen to the entirety of it, it's like, oh, okay, I can see how the conversation flowed this way.
I know this is exhausting. I'm concerned about sending paperwork back with you in your cell because then everybody's going to be like, what's that?
Yeah, can you guys just write it and I sign it?
Oh, no. That doesn't work that way.
Yeah. Can you just write it and I sign it? And then what do they say? They're like, no, we can't do that. We can't.
You know what I'm saying? Because this is going to have to be your testimony.
Do I have to go to court? Well, that's what I just don't want to do.
Detective, there's several references in
No. This has to be your testimony. So again, really rebutting the fact that the defense is pushing, hey, these detectives are shoving these ideas down your throat and, maybe they wrote it for you and you just signed it. Maybe they were the ones who fed you all this information, all the facts, and you just went along with it so you can get out of jail free card. Oh boy. If I was a jury right now, I would feel very disappointed at the defense team.
that video to McKay. Who is McKay?
McKay King is a prosecutor with the Wasatch County Attorney's Office.
And he was the prosecutor in the drug court?
I believe so. He's the prosecutor that we talked to and dealt with.
talk to in terms of getting immunity.
Correct.
There's one more statement that defense counsel picked out. That was that Detective Maynard said, the goal is to convict Kouri of aggravated murder. Do you recall the context for that statement?
Yes. Detective Maynard was speaking with Carmen about the possibility of having to appear before a grand jury. And he again was explaining to her that process and how that works and the details that they needed for that court hearing as well as an investigation, and he was trying to convey to her the level of detail that they needed.
Scott, can I get Exhibit 8-62 Delta Romeo, please? Is this an accurate depiction of the May 12, 2023 interview?
Yes, it is.
Your Honor, the state moves to publish 8-62DR.
Previous objections, Your Honor, that have been ruled on.
Okay. States 8-62DR is admitted and published.
And this is jury shit, that's more up the chain theory.
Okay, so here's another one. Oh no! Court TV, are you gonna remove the logo? Dun 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 dun. I think they will remove the logo at some point. Okay, well, while I wait for them to remove the logo, we'll hop back to Law and Crime just for a bit. I think it's right around here. Okay. All right. Carmen, rocking a different hairstyle, same outfit.
R is admitted and published.
And this is jury shit, that's more up the chain theory shit. Like, to the highest extreme, I think.
Well, but here's the thing, you've cooperated. At the end of the day, everybody is on the same page with, the goal is to convict Kouri for an aggravated murder. These parallel drug investigations, those aren't a priority.
Right.
That shit goes on every day, everywhere. That's not what we're here for.
Right. I was just not thinking, though, that made it.
Well, that's why I had to clear this up, because I'm not going to, give you an empty promise that
Right.
if it's bullshit, I'm not going to say it.
So do I have to go down there Wednesday?
So yes, that's something totally different than all of this. That is basically formalizing your testimony. This is street cop level in an interview room, right? That's where it's formalized with the grand jury.
But then they can't come back on me, right?
No, they're not going to charge you.
With nothing?
No.
Okay.
Okay, and again, to rebut against the defense, trying to say that, you got to convict Kouri. That's the goal. All right, give us fake information for us to do so. So they're trying to convince her, like, hey, we don't care that you have a drug investigation. We care about convicting Kouri. You're going to have to go testify for the grand jury, and they're not going to come back on you and, charge you with your bullshit drug shit. Because in comparison to a homicide case, it's not a big deal.
Detective, did you arrest Kouri Richins on May the 8th, 2023, pursuant to an arrest warrant?
Yes, I did.
That same day, did detectives execute a search warrant on the Willow Court home?
Yes, the Richins home.
Were Kouri Richins
You mean Eric's house?
and her sons living at the home at that time?
They were living there, but we planned the execution of our search warrant intentionally to avoid the boys
Oh, and when they're in school?
being home, so we waited till after they went to school.
Smart.
When detectives executed that warrant, did they recover an orange notebook from a nightstand in the master bedroom on Kouri Richins?
Oh, do we finally get to see the orange notebook? I've been waiting for this orange notebook. It's supposed to be a diary that Kouri wrote, and I think it was supposed to be like a self-serving thing to either, one, help her remember her lies, and then possibly two, if law enforcement were to find it, they'd be like, oh, hey, look, this is my diary. See? I didn't do anything wrong.
Side of the bed.
But I think it backfired against her.
Yes.
Scott, Exhibit 2-66, please.
Orange notebook, is it here? Orange notebook, orange notebook, orange.
Notebook.
Previous objections that have been ruled on by the court already, Your Honor.
Yeah, they already denied it, sorry. Okay, let's read the orange notebook, guys. Photo.
2-66R is admitted and published.
Oh god, this is long. Thursday, March 3rd, 2022. The day started off as a typical day. Ashton had a dentist appointment that morning to get a filling put in for his cavity. After the dentist, we headed back home so Ashton could stay home with Weston A. Bailey while I went to do my weekly volunteering at the school. That afternoon/evening, I made dinner. We ate as usual and ended the night like any other night. Around 8:30, I read the kids' books, and about 9 o'clock, they all climbed into bed. Eric had been on his phone most of the evening in a texting war? Oh. Texting war with a hunting guide from Mexico. Ooh, dropping in that Mexico. And a few other people trying to get his horns back to the U.S. Around 9 to 9:15, he was screaming mad at these guys and threw his phone. At that point, he said, "Let's go have a celebration drink." The following day, I was closing on a huge investment home in Midway. I had been working on this deal for 4 months, and closing date was finally here, and Eric and I were going to toast for the closing. We went into the kitchen and both started grabbing ingredients for a Moscow meal and a lemon drop shot. He was going on and on about these guys in Mexico and was so mad about the entire situation. All right, we're waiting. Something. Oh, did I skip something? No, did it cut off? Oh, fudge me. All right, back to court TV. I gotta go back and forth. Okay, we're going back and forth. We're going back and forth because these damn logos. I love court TV and I love law and crime, but y'all be in the way sometimes, okay? Okay. What does it say here? He was going on and on. On and 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 on. Oh, here it is. He was going on and on about these guys in Mexico and was so mad about the entire situation. We finished talking, made our way back to our room, and brushed our teeth. As we both climbed in bed, we could hear Ashton moaning and tossing and turning. He was having nightmares again. I told Eric I would go to sleep with him and try to calm him down. We kissed and said, "I love you" and good night, and I went to Ashton's room and laid with him. 30 minutes later, I could hear Eric snoring, and I finally fell to sleep. March 4, 2022, 3:20 a.m. I woke up from sleeping with Ashton and went to crawl back in my bed. It was dark and awkwardly quiet. Eric snores more times than not, so I thought I was weird. I didn't hear anything. Oh, dude, do you know what we don't hear about? We don't hear about Kouri taking the dog to go potty. She's documenting everything. I crawled into bed and went on Eric's side of the bed and put my arm over him. He was cold, very cold, so I pulled the blanket up on him, but his body just felt so strange to me. It was heavy is the only word I can think of to describe it. So I nudged him and said, "Eric, Eric." Nothing. I kept nudging him and just remember the stiffness of his body. I jumped out of bed and ran and turned the lights on, and he was pale, yellow, mouth open. An urge came over me that this was it? Okay. All right. Do we have any tears on the pages? Good. I grabbed my phone and called 911. I ran up to Eric to see if he was breathing or had a pulse, but he didn't. Panic had sunk in as I was talking to dispatch. She had me pull Eric to the floor to do CPR. As much as I didn't want him basically falling on the ground, I pulled him as hard as I could to get him down and began CPR/compressions until the EMT arrived. They immediately took over, getting out their defibrillator and started compressions. The worst part of it all was when they were pumping his lungs and blood went everywhere. It was like on replay in my head, and I wanted to go away. I began screaming at the EMTs, and they weren't doing it right. He shouldn't be bleeding. How would I really know what is right and what is wrong? I have no idea. I screamed, cried, and just sat in the corner of the room by my dresser, rocking back and forth, hoping and praying this was a dream. Fading in and out of the moment, hoping to go back to the night before where we were laughing. kissing, and saying goodnight. The EMTs finally came, asked me to leave the room. He could see I was visibly upset and couldn't function. He took me to the living room and had me sit down. I couldn't. I paced. I paced? I lost my spot. I paced back and forth until an officer came out and asked if... Did I read too fast? There was someone I would like to call. I called my mom back to back until she finally picked up. I told her to come quick. The ambulance was here. Something is wrong with Eric. I was upset and crying still. I hung up and still paced back and forth until I finally just dropped to my knees praying. This wasn't happening. At some point, the head EMT walked in to tell me he didn't make it. We did all we could do. I lost it. I immediately ran to the bathroom and began throwing up. During all of this, my kids had woken up and I had quickly yelled for them to stay in their room. They knew something was up. They saw the ambulances, the cop cars, for what had seemed hours at this point. I could feel their fear through the ways, but... yet didn't have the courage to dare see them or talk to them at this point. I was curled up around the toilet when my mom walked in with the EMT lady. I could tell she had no words and just rubbed my back. She already knew he was gone. The EMT told her I was distraught. So was she. We couldn't even speak. She just started to say what happened. But I had no answer, for I have no idea. Don't know what that says because the court TV is blocking it. I love you. Good night. I went and slept with Ashton, and that was it. It just didn't make any sense. I told them, EMTs, I needed to call my father-in-law. They found my phone for me, and I did. I just said something was wrong with Eric. He needed to come over quick. I told him the ambulance was here, but he wasn't breathing. The odd thing was, when I called Gina's, it was around 3:45 to 4 a.m. by this time, so he had sounded so... porky? He sounded porky? Oh, perky? He sounded so perky on the hello when he answered, almost like he was expecting my call. It was very strange! Are we gonna try to blame the family members? Like the family members did it and that's why Gene expected this call? That makes no sense. Why? Why? Oh boy. All right, we're gonna have fun reading this. I love how there's timestamps for everything, just to, make sure that she's writing down a clear narrative and a timeline of what happened. See, I think this is all self-serving, but man, I feel like it's going to backfire against her. We'll see what happens in direct examination and in cross. March 7th, picked up the truck. March 12th, Cody cleared the garage. March 14th, Cody took computers. March 4th, Eric passes away. March 5th, friends, Bryce, Chelsea, Allie K, Bree, Ronnie, Amy, sleepover, have a few drinks, and reminisce. We laughed, we cried, we danced all night. Earlier in the afternoon, Katie mentioned a green folder and asked if I knew where it was. I mentioned I didn't know what she was talking about. She quickly changed the subject and said we would figure this out. March 6th, I called the locksmith to open safe to look for this green folder Katie was talking about. The safe code had been changed and I couldn't open it. Bryce, Amy, Chelsea, Allie, Bree, Ronnie slept over. Amy tried to stop me from getting it open. Redacted and the cops were called. March 8th, met with the funeral home / sign with someone. March 11th, funeral. March 22nd, Kouri starts counseling. March 26th, boys started counseling. Oh, Kouri first, boys later. April 11th, Detective Woody called and asked to talk on the 12th, 13th. Sky told me to tell her the 14th. Oh my gosh! So at this point, she already had representation. Oh, because I think this is when all this stuff was happening with the family, and she probably knew that they were going to look at her next, possibly. I wonder if Sky is known as a defense attorney at this point, or if she was handling other cases. Interesting. April 13th, search warrant on house. March 28th, filed first complaint against the trust for the house. May 3rd, filed for partial summary judgment on C&E. January 10th, Woody calls Chels in for an interview. January 12th, Chels gave info interview. IS lied to that she is the last person I talked to. Something, court TV logo. You know what? I wonder if she journaled about the time that she found out that Eric changed the will, the trust, and how all the drama was happening with family members and how she couldn't believe that they would think that she did it. and how maybe she was being framed and she feels really disappointed that the family member cares about money during this time and Eric's death, and I feel so sad. Like, I wonder if there's more journal entries of her talking about how Eric died and like she didn't know what happened and like her just being really upset and all that. Or is this only for documenting purposes to help her somehow in the future? Because I feel like if you're journaling, you're going to be journaling about everything that's happening, okay? Like, get all your emotions out, all your feelings out. And there's probably going to be tears on these pages as you're talking about Eric and his death. All right. What else? Zoom in. Chels checks phone records. We never spoke that night. January 13th, Jim drives red truck for oil change. Cody finds out and goes to get it. January 17, 2022, find out about the private investigator. He was outside of my neighbors while Carter's 10th birthday party was happening. September 7th, Amy driving by the house trying to take pictures. November 22nd, Katie files motion to bring boys in on case. November 30th, first court hearing. Katie and Amy would not turn on camera. Judge reschedules court for March 2nd to determine if kids need to be involved and if a PI has to follow subpoena and give us all his info. November 7th, Amy serves subpoena. January 3rd, Mike Mom Rose gets interviewed. November 23rd, 2022, I found out that Eric had been consulting divorce attorney.
Detective O'Driscoll did, detectives also execute a search warrant at the Willow Court home on November the 7th, 2024.
Yes.
Scott, Exhibit 2-65, please.
Sorry, what was the date again? September, what now? So timeline of death and then timeline of after death. Very interesting diary.
Nope. Warrant. The Willow O'Driscoll did. Detectives also execute a search warrant at the Willow Court home on November the 7th, 2024.
Yes.
Scott, Exhibit 2-65, please. Is this an accurate depiction of a document recovered from the kitchen cabinet of the home pursuant to that search warrant?
Yes, it is.
Sorry,
Your
I was
Honor,
reading.
the state moves to
Missed your
admit and
message.
publish 2-65.
No objection.
2-65 is admitted.
How do you disable Copilot on your phone? Or sorry, on your computer? It's so annoying. Eric home 6 to 6:30. Fighting with Mexican. Drink in bed. Drank half. Brush his teeth. I was in bed after. Brush. Mirror. Talk through. The doorway. Moscow meals. Lemon water vodka. Him, I think. January to March 1st. 21st. Gone. Funeral. Didn't have my phone. Kids. Bed around 9. Drink around 9 p.m. In bed around 9:30, 9:45. Laid down. Instant heard. Ashton went to came in. Back at 3. Mom convo. So I think these are the notes that she took after she interviewed with O'Driscoll, right? Either she was trying to keep track of what went down, or she was trying to memorize what she told O'Driscoll because maybe they were lies. Who knows?
Did Kouri and Eric Richins exchange text messages regarding the Midway mansion?
Yes. I believe those were located on Eric's phone.
Scott, Exhibit 2-17D, please. This is an act exchange between Kouri and Eric Richins.
Yes, and the green bubbles are Eric, and the blue bubbles are Miss Richins.
Your Honor, can we have just one moment, please? Your Honor,
Right? There'd be tears all over the page. Okay, so let's read. This is from 1522. This is from Other to My Princess. So this is from Eric, I think. There's a guy down here that's going to buy the sheep tag from Tog next year, and he tried to get the tag for me today and said I was crazy for not shooting this ram we saw. It wasn't even that big. She writes back, How much money you got, bro? I'll settle for 15K. Hey, while you're sitting there doing nothing, need your opinions. I know this may change what Jeff said, but for now I have to put together an analysis for Matt, which is what I'm doing right now because he's an investor that is thinking he will come in at full 2.9. I need estimated costs for the following: exterior work, HVAC, plumbing, electrical, flooring, painting, sheetrock, pool, miscellaneous equipment, VR and golf, tile, cabinets, appliance, light fixtures, finish work, landscaping. Add up to $4 million. He knows these are guesses, but once they break down... Dude, Eric is helping her out? Oh boy. I have no idea. I would be way off just trying to guess. Yeah, Eric's not a contractor. Eric's not a business like stonemasonry. Does she have like contacts out there with contractors that can help her out to get these estimates? And it's actually really hard to, because you got to look at the house and like, no, dude, that's that's crazy. She writes back, oh, it's a photo or a GIF of some sort. She loves these GIFs. So they're talking about the Midway Mansion. It's bedtime. Why are you still up? Says Eric to Kouri. Kouri says, I need to have this done tonight. He has a meeting with him tomorrow. Girl, why are you working last minute? He writes back, well, I think it will come out to about 6 million. Kouri says, OMG. Ha, never mind. Never mind. I think it's because she's like, dude, your fucking estimate is way too high. The guy's not going to invest, okay, if it's really 6 million. Eric writes back. To fix all the rotted plywood and everything else at 125K, exterior work 60-50K, HVAC 200K, plumbing 200K, electrical 200K, flooring 250K, painting 150K, sheetrock 150K, pool 300K, miscellaneous, climbing wall, basketball court, golf simulator 600K, tile 125K, cabinets 150K, appliance 100K, light fixtures 50K, finished work 200K, landscaping, driveway, pulling the sewer, and electrical 750K. Not sure what that adds up to, but that's my best guess. A fuck ton of money, Eric. She writes back. Thank you, kind sir. That's what I needed. All right. She's Midway estimates. Ho, 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 ho. She writes, go to bed. He says, love you. Damn. They still texting love you to each other? They were in like a full-fledged relationship. I thought their relationship was like dead, okay? It doesn't seem like it. 4.2. Love you. Good night. Damn. Cheater, cheater. Add 250K more in the driveway and landscape. You see, here's the thing. Eric said 6 million. She's like, oh, I think it's 4 million, you know, because she doesn't want to scare off the investor. Okay, done. 4,450,000. Still not as bad. All in 7.35. Sell for 14 million to be safe. Yeah, but I bet I'm low on a bunch of things. Remember how we don't have time. How we don't have time on this project. Oh gosh. Yeah, but I bet I'm low on a bunch of things. And remember how we don't have time to do this project. Oh, boy. Kouri says, that's fine. He says he knows as a guest for now. No, we're not doing it, but Matt doesn't finance anything without analysis to give his investors. They want to see some sort of numbers. Wait, so they just want like numbers that you just pull out of your fucking ass? I'm sorry, but you got to get quotes from like the individual people who work in these like different industries. So like electrician, the HVAC guy, you know, the tiling guy. Like you have to have these people come over and give these quotes, not just like numbers like pull out of your butt. Oh boy, no wonder they're investing with Kouri. Maybe it was just a hot mess. Sounds like a hot mess.
Scott 2-37D, please.
Also, from what I've learned, anytime you get a quote for renovation shit, I don't know, just double it or triple it.
Yes, that's correct.
Oh, I'm sorry.
2022 text. Detective, is this an accurate depiction of a March 2nd, 2022 text message between Kouri and Eric Richins?
So about a day or two before he dies.
Yes, that's correct.
Your Honor, the state moves to admit and publish 2-37D.
No objection, Your Honor. Thank you.
All right. So this is from Eric about a day or two before he dies. You want to grab lunch today with a celebratory shot? Kouri replies back, "Oh, I can't celebratory shot tonight. I gotta do all this final paperwork this morning because everyone is funding tomorrow. And then I promised Virginia I would go on a walk with her, 1 at 2, because we didn't have time yesterday. I'm sorry." Was she with her paramour during this time? I'm curious. He writes back, "Okay, love ya." She writes back, "Love you."
I want to turn now to some other text messages. Scott, 2-71R, please.
Okay, just gonna forward through this.
Is this an accurate depiction of a May 24th, 2023 text message between Kouri Richins and her brother, DJ Kouri?
Yes, it is.
Your Honor, the state moves to admit and publish 2-71R.
No objection.
2-71R is admitted and published.
Kouri's brother DJ sends a text message at 9:50 a.m. Did Eric ever talk about suicide? Kouri, not suicide specifically. He would just say things like, wait, let me make sure it's the correct one. How do I know who said what? Oh, I think the brother said both, right? Okay, yeah. Did Eric ever talk about suicide? Not suicide specifically. He would always say things like, if anything ever happened to me, you guys... Oh, this is Kouri's voice. This is so hard to tell. Oh, do I just look at the ID? I think I just look at the ID. All right, start over. Brother, did Eric ever talk about suicide? Sister, not suicide specifically. He'd always say things like, if anything were to happen to me, you guys would be set for life. Like when we go hunting or snowboarding, that kind of thing. Ooh, so I think the state is trying to show that she knew that if he died, she would be set for life. Motive, right there. So twofold
Thanks,
that,
Scott.
according to Kouri,
Can I get
Eric was
2-
not suicidal. But again, remember, the defense did say that they were not going to push for the suicide narrative, which surprised me because I thought they would try to.
72R.
Oh yeah, she wrote, let's get those bitches.
Detective, is this an accurate depiction of a May 23rd, 2023 text exchange between Kouri Richins and her mother, Lisa Darden?
The date I'm seeing is May 31st.
Sorry, May 31st.
But yes, between Miss Richins and Lisa Darden.
Thank you so much. Oh my gosh, $9.99. Thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you so much for your support. So generous of you. Appreciate it.
Your Honor, the state moves to admit and publish 5-72R.
If I come back tomorrow with a raspy Elaine voice, y'all will know why.
No objection.
5-
All right, we have lots of IDs here, so how can I tell the difference between who texted what? I think, all right, I'm assuming the brevity messages are from the mother because she barely types, so I think this is Kouri. And Kouri says, oh, okay, cool. Hayden, who's that?
5
the guy
or
that...
2, I'm sorry.
Sorry, 2.
2.
Sorry, Miss Esther's talking.
2-72R, yes.
That's
Okay.
Sorry
Kouri says, oh, okay, cool. Hayden, who's that? The guy that worked for us? Mom, yes. Kouri, that's weird. About what? I hardly even know him. I helped him do business licensing insurance one time. Mom, another one wanting their 15 minutes of fame. Kouri, oh God, ha. I'm just making assumptions here. I think that's Kouri and that's Mom. Back and forth.
Detective, I'd like to turn now to some phone calls. Scott, can I get 2-76 and 2-76T?
I bet you Hayden's significant other won't be happy to see that. Another guy who wanted 15 minutes of fame, what, being involved in this case? Who wants to be involved in a homicide case? No one wants to testify. No one wants to name the headlines. For the most part, people kind of just want to stay away and keep their distance. What's that noise?
One second, Detective. 76T.
You're nothing to see. 2023 phone call between Kouri Richins and Lisa Darden.
Oh, shit.
The transcript is does represent that, yes. I don't have the audio recording, but the transcript is accurate.
Your Honor, the state moves to admit and publish 2-76 and 2-76.
So Kouri pretends to not know, or maybe she forgot to know who Hayden was, although I think I doubt that, because I think she knew Hayden's girlfriend ever since high school, but I forget how long she knew Hayden for. But apparently Hayden is the one who did not testify in this case. He passed away. His significant other passed away. So his significant other testified in this case. And apparently there was a phone call between him and Kouri, and she overheard him saying, like, fentanyl, fuck that, investor or something, fuck that. So it's like, oh, did she try to get fentanyl from other people aside from Carmen Lobber?
6T.
If we could just have the instruction on the other speaker.
Ladies and gentlemen, during this telephone conversation, you will hear the voice of Kouri Richins. You will also hear the voice of people that are not Kouri Richins. You can consider and accept the statements made by Kouri Richins for their truth or for any purpose. The people that are not Kouri Richins, you cannot consider their statements for the truth of what they say. You can only consider their statements for the effect they had upon the listener, Kouri Richins. 2-76 and 2-76T are admitted.
Picked up the sandwiches from the diner. Are you asking me that? Yes. Oh, I did. I got.
Mom, why are you... Mom, why are you asking this on the phone? Oh, man. Mom, are you working with feds? Are you working with them to try to incriminate Kouri? Who picked up the sandwiches from the diner? And it's like quiet on the other line. Corey's like, are you asking me that? Mom.
Okay, that's enough of that.
Okay, I thought so. That's enough of that. Wow. So the mom was like, oh, fuck, okay. Was she expecting Kouri to lie about that? Because she knew that was recorded. And then Kouri was like, oh, I did? Oh, geez, let's just start over. I'm baffled.
Picked up the sandwiches from the diner. Are you asking me that? Yes. Oh, I did. I thought so. Okay, that's enough of that. Ronnie said, no. I said, Ronnie, yes. And there was something about a love letter put on the seat of the truck with the sandwiches. I said, I don't think so, Ronnie. I never heard that. I said, I believe they were eating in the office. Yeah, supposedly you put a love letter on the seat of his truck with the sandwiches. No. Yeah, exactly. In the office? Yes. So it's just bullshit. Yeah.
Wait, are we gonna find a love letter? Oh gosh. I don't know if you guys can hear, but basically they're saying like, oh, they're saying that you put a love letter with a sandwich. She's like, no, I didn't.
He became deathly ill. Well, Bailey was there. Like, and that's what I put. Yep. That's what I put. God, they can come up with some wild shit. I told DJ, I was like, what do these people do? Just sit around a damn table and see if you can come up with the craziest fucking story? Well, you know, it makes sense to them. So they're saying I put a love note on a poisoned sandwich and put it in his car? What the hell? Yes. God, God, look like this psycho. Here's a piece of sandwich I gave for you, and here's a love note. On Valentine's Day. Like, what the fuck? Mom, huh?
On the seat of his truck is what it said.
What in the hell? Oh my God, they are nuts. And they're gonna feel so stupid.
Maybe. I actually don't remember there was a note or not. I don't remember if I remember hearing about that in... Maybe I heard about that in pretrial?
And that's the thing, I feel like all of America, really. When people get up to actually testify and say, no, that's a lie, that did not happen.
Oh, is that the baby cakes? There's a baby cakes letter that kept getting referenced, and we have no idea what that letter is. Holy shit. Did the PI find this letter, and was it a letter that Kouri left with a sandwich from Valentine's Day? Did she fucking date it? Oh my gosh. All right. Kouri? Whew. Good luck.
Happened. I was there. So like all of America, really. When people get up to actually testify and say, no, that is a lie, that did not happen. I was there. You can't compete with somebody who was actually there on your belief.
You can't compete with someone who was actually there on your belief. Yeah, but if you're the one who's testifying and you're lying about that,
Right. You know, so I'm just like, you know, and the stupid part is the freaking detectives, so just all those idiots, they know this. When they were at my house, I told them this.
But they're him. You have
through anyway. And I almost wonder if they didn't tell the prosecutor.
So they're saying it was on. They're saying just a few days later, Valentine's Day, Kouri made Eric a sandwich and placed it on the seat of his truck along with a supposed love note.
Oh my gosh, what the hell?
And then the next question is, when Eric ate the sandwich, he immediately broke out in hives, had trouble breathing. He later told his friend he thought Kouri tried to poison him. It is so fucking sad that you would go to this lie. And Austin was right. I did go back and look where they do start with, I believe. Well, I'm going to have a whole bunch of I believe today when Rick calls me.
Well, exactly. And that's what I was like, well, if you believe, then I believe this.
Yes. Exactly.
Oh my gosh, they're ridiculous.
So if you guys are wondering why this audio phone is being played, I think it's because so far during the trial, we heard about Valentine's Day, how Kouri lied about where she was. She was really with her paramour, but she lied to her best friend, saying that she was with Eric that day, but she really wasn't. That they ate lunch together, but they didn't. And there was testimony from the man who owned the diner. There's also testimony from friends and family members that talked about how they talked to Eric that day and Eric didn't feel well. So this kind of just ties it all back together for the jury. They're like, oh, okay. So the allegation is that there was a love note with this egg sandwich and Eric got sick, had hives. So maybe he was poisoned on this day before with fentanyl.
So Ronnie said, when are you calling him? And I said, I'm not. He's supposed to call me today. I said, and then I want my questions answered. I believe. I'll show you I believe. And he just sent me a text and asked me when I'm free today. But just sure as I say, go ahead and call. Ronnie's going to call back and we're not done.
Scott, can I please get 2-77 and 2-77T? Detective, is this an accurate depiction of a transcript of a second August 22nd, 2023 phone call between Kouri Richins and this time her brother, Ronnie, regarding Valentine's Day 2022.
Could Scott scroll through a couple of the pages just so I can verify?
Yeah.
Sorry, did he give the date?
Is this inaccurate? 7T. Scott, can I please get 2-77 and 2-77T? Detective, is this an accurate depiction of a transcript of a second August 22nd, 2023 phone call between Kouri Richins and this time
August 22nd, 2023. Okay.
her brother state moves to admit and
audio recording and transcript. You may consider Kouri Richins after this conversation for the truth of the matter. You may not consider the statements made by people that are not Kouri Richins for the truth of the matter of what they say. You may only consider those people's statements for the effect they had upon Kouri Richins as the listener. The 2-77 and 2-77T are admitted.
Erica's sandwich and put a love note on it, and the sandwich was poison.
Oh my God, I know. It's like, no, the fuck, that did not happen. I was like, no, that didn't happen. Here's what happened. Nanny can testify. That's not, who fucking lived there. That's not what happened.
Yeah.
Like, that's not at all what happened. Where the fuck are you getting this bullshit?
Yeah, and like I even like have like my bank statement and stuff showing that I bought lunch at Mirror Lake. Like I didn't make any fucking.
Yeah, I know. I was like, no. I was like, no. These sandwiches are bought from a restaurant from a diner up the road. Receipts to prove it. This shit didn't happen. They're working in the office, and Nanny's there.
Doesn't matter if they're boxed up, okay? They're not like sealed up, okay? There's no like protection seal on there. Sometimes they will add like a sticker seal if you're doing like an Uber Eats order or a DoorDash order or something like that, because, you know, just in case, you know, they don't want you to think that your food was tainted with by the driver. But if she was picking it up, I highly doubt they sealed it. Okay, she could have tampered with it. It's a takeout order.
There to testify that all of this is true. These sandwiches are bought from a restaurant from a diner up the road. Receipts to prove it. This shit didn't happen. They're working in the office, and Nanny's there to testify that all of this is true, and everything they just said is complete horseshit.
I'm sorry, but the brother just sounds so dumb. Sandwich is boxed up. There's a receipt to prove it. Okay. I think she went to go pick up the food. I think she transported it. Oh boy.
Detective, are you familiar with what is known as the walk the dog letter?
Oh.
Yes, I am.
Scott, Exhibit 2-86R, please. If you could scroll through that for the detective. Detective, is this an accurate depiction of a 6-page letter to Lisa Darden written on either September 12th or 13th, 2023, that investigators recovered on September the 14th, 2023, from a book that was among Kouri Richins' personal possessions?
Pause for 1 moment.
Your Honor, I object. I think there needs to be a foundation laid of if whether or not it's to her mother.
Please approach.
Okay.
Question that I have for you guys. I know we don't have a lot of information and it's a lot of speculation, but do you guys think the family members were in on it? Or do you think they genuinely thought she was innocent? Or do you think maybe some of the families knew and the others didn't? Like, what are your guys' thoughts? And again, we're in speculation land right now. You got our tinfoil hats on. Hi, Star.
Is this an accurate depiction of a 6-page letter to Lisa Darden written on either September the 12th or 13th, 2023, that investigators recovered on September the 14th, 2023, from a book that was among Kouri Richins' personal possessions?
This is that letter. It has redactions, but yes, this is that letter.
Your Honor, the state moves to admit and publish 2-86R.
86.
All right.
Page 1. Walk the dog, but take vague notes so you remember. Here is what I'm thinking.
Thank you. Oh my gosh. Okay, he's reading it. Thank you.
But you have to. Here is what I'm thinking, but you have to talk to Ronnie. He would probably have to testify to this, but it's super short, not a lot to it. He will need to tell Sky at the meeting next week. Upon information and belief,
Sky was her attorney at that time.
He will need to tell Sky at the meeting next week. Upon information and belief, just like they say, a year prior to Eric's death, Ronnie was over watching football one Sunday, and Eric and Ronnie were chatting about Eric's Mexico trips. Eric told Ronnie he gets pain pills and fentanyl from Mexico from the workers at the ranch. Not to tell me because I would get mad, because I always said he just gets high every night and won't help take care of the kids. There are pictures in my phone of Eric passed out on the floor or in the chair. Ronnie should have texts from Eric talking about getting high as well. Eric told Ronnie he keeps them in an allergy pill bottle in his work truck, so I wouldn't find them. Ronnie never told me about the conversation. Eric finally told me and asked if Carmen could get him some. Eric never wanted anyone to know he had an issue, especially get caught. He always wanted Kouri to go down for him. When they traveled, Eric would put his drugs in Kouri's bag at the airlines right before they boarded. That way, if they were caught, Kouri got in trouble, not him. Once they got to wherever they were going, Eric would pull the drugs out of her bag, and it would cause a huge fight. She was pissed he would risk her going to jail for his drug use. He just would laugh about it. Eric couldn't ruin his image that he had drug issues, so he would do whatever he had to. Kouri has never done any type of pills, didn't like them. Rarely would she consume THC, only if Eric begged her because it was a special occasion. Reword this however he needs to make the point, just include it all. The connection has to be made with Mexico and drugs. Ronnie will have the messages to prove Eric confided in him about getting high. It can be short and to the point, but has to be done. Upon information and belief, LOL. They never found pain pills or fentanyl in my house because he hid it in allergy bottle in work truck, and Cody emptied out work truck within a week, so they were never found. When you talk to Ronnie about this, meet up with him in person. I worry sometimes your house and phone are bugged. Maybe drive down to SL.
Wow. So there were different explanations for this letter. Remember, it was like, oh, attorney-client privilege. I'm not trying to influence a potential witness, or I think it was tamper, right? Witness tamper. But if she was trying to jog up her brother's memory about what he told her, why would it matter if the house or phone was bugged? If she was doing something that was completely innocent, right? Or was she just trying to get her brother to lie?
When you talk to Ronnie about this, meet up with him in person. I worry sometimes your house and phone are bugged. Maybe drive down to SL and meet him after work without Bree. Tell Ronnie don't overanalyze it. It was a quick 2-minute conversation, LOL. Tell him I need him to do this. Bring me home and then we will get those damn bitches. Also, please text Lotto or call. Tell him do not text me anything about us doing things together ever. Like church, skiing, trips, nothing that puts us together. It doesn't look good.
Oh, man. I think Lotto is just a code name for the man that she was having an affair with. I forgot about that.
We're so close to the end, let's push through. Have the conversation with Ronnie before he meets with Sky. Then tell him to tell Sky at the meeting about the conversation. Hang in there, we're almost there. Love you to the moon.
Oh, yeah, that was the other explanation, that this was all part of a novel, how her and Dad would go to Mexico together, get drugs.
Take vague notes of all this so you remember before you walk the dog.
Detective, does Sky in that letter refer to Sky Lazaro, Kouri Richins, former defense counsel?
Yes.
No further questions, Your Honor.
can't believe that was it. Oh, jeez. I wonder. I thought they were gonna include the interview. Well, I guess did they not allow that in? Well, I guess not. So when he went to go introduce himself, they interviewed Kouri, and she gave her version of what happened. So I guess in the past day and a half, they decided to not let that in. All right, we're in cross-examination.
Ms. Nestor, please.
Thank you, Your Honor. Let's jump right back into that letter since we're on it.
Thank you.
While it's fresh on our memory.
Thank you. I love that.
It's Exhibit 286 for the record.
You want me to put it back up?
Yes, please, Your Honor.
There you go.
Thank you so much. All right, so this letter that you just read aloud, do you know the date that it was written?
I believe it was September either 12th or 13th.
Okay. And in this letter, the very beginning letter tells, I guess if it's her mother that she's addressing it to, if that's what you say, that to remind Ronnie to tell Sky this story, correct?
What part are you referencing?
The story about what Eric told him about getting fentanyl from Mexico.
There is a part that says tell Sky at the meeting next week.
Okay. So it looks like there's about to be a meeting with her lawyer, Sky, right?
I have no idea if that happened or if that was about to happen.
Okay, well, that's what it says.
It says at the meeting next week.
All right. So there's a meeting coming up with a lawyer, and Kouri is relaying something that Ronnie had known from the past, just in something that occurred between him and Eric in the past, right? When they were watching a football game.
Kouri is relaying, girl. I wonder if they don't think Corey's going to testify, and that's why they're putting so much emphasis on this.
Go ahead, Mr.
Objection, Your Honor. Foundation.
Sustained.
Okay, let's blow it up. We're going to get very particular. All right. A year prior to Eric's death, Ronnie was over watching football one Sunday, and then she tells a story about something that Eric allegedly told Ronnie, right?
It's going to be really fun to look at all the recharacterizations of this letter.
And just by the way, if you could go up just a little bit above that.
Wait for the answer.
Wait, before let me rephrase. Katie, if you could go back up to he will need to tell Sky at the meeting next week, just start right there and then highlight. And then thank you. I'll rephrase.
You're withdrawing that question?
Yes, sir, I am.
Understood.
So he's going to need to tell Sky next week about a year prior to his death, something Eric told Ronnie, allegedly, right? About his trips to Mexico.
Your Honor, there's no question there.
It ends in a question mark.
Thank you, Your Honor. Right?
It includes the word allegedly.
Yes. Right?
Any other objection?
Your Honor, perhaps you could just re-ask it again.
Sure. One more time, Ms. Nestor.
In the letter, because you said you weren't sure, so we're looking right at the letter. In the letter, she says at a meeting with Sky next week, and she talks about Ronnie telling a story about a year prior to Eric's death, Ronnie being over watching football one Sunday and talking to him about his trips to Mexico, right?
That's what the document says.
Okay. As the chief investigator of this case, did you ever go to Ronnie and say, hey, did this happen?
I believe investigators reached out to Ronnie. I don't think it was me, but I believe one of the other investigators reached out to Ronnie for interview and were not able to talk to him.
So the answer is you were never able to confirm or deny with Ronnie whether this actually happened.
I'm sorry, Miss Nestor. That's not a point for the defense. It seems like Ronnie did not want to speak with the investigator.
I was not.
Okay, let's go to the next page. Then she tells a story about Eric putting drugs in her bag at the airlines right before they board. You see that? Can you highlight it, please, Katie? Now, that story has been verified by Allie Staking, her friend that testified before this jury, correct?
Objection, Your Honor. Foundation.
Have you been sitting in this?
The objection's overruled.
Thank you, Your Honor. Is that right?
Could you rephrase the question?
That story about Eric putting drugs in Kouri's bag when they would travel and causing a fight was verified in this courtroom by Allie Staking under oath. Is that correct?
I listened to Ms. Staking's testimony. She told of one incident when that happened.
Okay.
This says Eric would, as if it happened multiple times, so I don't know. I just know what I heard Ms. Staking testify to.
Did you ever ask any of Kouri's friends or family if they knew of situations where it had happened before?
Where what had happened before?
Where Eric had put drugs in Kouri's luggage when they traveled?
I don't recall asking that specific question, but I think I heard about it coming up. I don't remember who the conversation was with, but I think I had heard something to this effect before.
Was it involving a trip to Mexico?
Not specifically, no.
Okay. Do you remember where the trip was involved?
I don't. Sorry.
So at least someone in your investigation did at least suggest that they knew of another situation besides Hawaii where Eric did this.
No, I don't know if it was a separate one or if they were referencing the same one. I don't know for sure.
All right. All right, if we could go to the bottom of the, highlight the bottom half for me.
Did you get him water?
All right, there's references in here that Ronnie will have messages on his phone to prove Eric confided in him about getting high, right?
That's what this text says.
As the chief investigator of this case, did you ever go check Ronnie's phone to see if those existed to verify this?
I was made aware of this letter after May 8th.
Of 2023.
Of 2023.
Okay.
Like I said, I believe investigators reached out to Ronnie to talk to him in general about the case, and he denied letting us talk to him. So, no, I was never able to confirm this with his cell phone.
So we sure have sat in this courtroom and listened to a lot of
Did he deny because he doesn't want to lie to investigators? And oh my gosh, did he deny because he didn't want to lie to investigators? Or did he deny because he didn't want to be part of it? Didn't want to be involved?
testimony about search warrants to seize phones. You know how to do that, right?
I do know how to do that.
Didn't issue a search warrant to get Ronnie's phone to see if that happens to be true.
No, but like I said, this information came to me well after May 8th, 2023.
Okay, sir, that's 3 years ago, right?
I mean, Ronnie could have provided it. Kouri could have asked Ronnie to provide it. I wonder if they didn't provide it because it didn't exist.
Yep.
And isn't it true you issued a search warrant as recently as 2 months ago to search the house for, I think, the 10th or 11th time, didn't you?
Yes.
Okay. All right, and then can we go to the very last little bit about they never found pain pills or fentanyl in my house? At the bottom? Yes, please. Thank you.
I can see that.
You can see it? Great. Okay. So, again, this refers to the previous page where Eric allegedly told Ronnie that he kept his drugs in an allergy bottle in his work truck so that Kouri wouldn't find it, right?
Objection, Foundation. That's not what the previous page says.
We just go back to the previous page.
Sure.
Please,
Absolutely. Katie, can you go back to the first page and find the section in there about where he kept his drugs? Let's see. Yep. Eric told Ronnie he keeps them in an allergy pill bottle in his work truck so I wouldn't find them. Isn't that what that says?
The whole sentence says Eric told Ronnie he keeps them in an allergy pill bottle in his work truck so I wouldn't find them.
And by the way, this was seized September 14th of 2023, correct?
I believe so, yes.
And at that point...
So then how did she know that they were in an allergy pill bottle? Eric told Ronnie he keeps them in an allergy pill bottle so I wouldn't find them. So why didn't Ronnie tell Kouri? Or if Kouri did know, why didn't she tell investigators to look in the work truck? All this just sounds really weird because Ronnie would have known about this when Eric told him. So Eric was still alive. So when Eric passes away, Ronnie would have this information. Why didn't he give it to investigators? Oh, I wonder if it's because it's a lie.
Had you revealed to Kouri that you had found an empty hydrocodone bottle in Eric's nightstand the day of his death? Had you ever revealed that to her or her lawyer at this point?
I personally didn't find the bottle.
Okay.
It was located on the night of Eric's death and was transported with his body to the ME's office.
There's no way for Kouri to know that when she wrote this, right?
Objection, Your Honor. Speculation.
Sustained.
Okay, that's fair. All right, go back to what we were just talking about, to the bottom of the second page. All right. They never found pain pills or fentanyl in my house because Eric hid it in an allergy bottle in the work truck, right? So that connects to what we just saw on the first page of what he allegedly told Ronnie, right?
What is your question? Yes, I can see that this document says that.
And the next sentence says, and Cody emptied Oh, I'm sorry. It's cut off on my screen, but not that one. I'm going to share a screen with the jury. And Cody emptied out work truck within a week. We've heard that verified by Cody in this courtroom that he said to the jury under oath, correct? While you were sitting in here.
Objection, foundation. I don't think that's what he said.
Sustained. You got to rephrase.
Did Cody come pick up the work truck within a few days of Eric's death?
I'm not personally aware.
Did you sit in this courtroom here and testify to that?
I believe so.
Okay.
Yes, I sat in the courtroom. Yes, I heard his testimony. I don't remember exactly what he said, but.
And just in case the jury has been so focused on that witness box that they don't notice what's happening back here, you've actually been in this courtroom every single day, every single minute, listening to every single person testify, right?
Nearly, yeah.
Almost.
Sorry, give me a second.
The work truck within a few days of Eric.
Oh, the work truck. Jesus. I mean, there's just so much bullshittery in this, but.
While you were sitting in here.
Objection, foundation. I don't think that's what he said.
Sustained. You got to rephrase.
Did Cody.
How was Kouri planning to get this letter out of the jail to her mom's addresses? She held, I don't know this letter, but she's held a different letter up while she was on video chat with her mom. That was to circumvent the mails, letters, whatever, being checked as they were sent out. So she would just hold it up in video chat, and then the mom would maybe take a picture or read it from there or something like that.
Cody come pick up the work truck within a few days of Eric's death?
I'm not personally aware.
Did you sit in this courtroom here and testify to that?
I believe so.
Okay.
Yes, I sat in the courtroom. Yes, I heard his testimony. I don't remember exactly what he said, but.
And just in case the jury has been so focused on that witness box that they don't notice what's happening back here, you've actually been in this courtroom every single day, every single minute, listening to every single person testify, right?
Nearly, yeah.
Almost.
Almost.
Maybe a bathroom break here and there, which you're entitled. Okay. All right, let's take that down. Now, I want to go back to. Oh, by the way, just last little thing on the walk the dog letter, and then I swear I'll quit beating a dead horse. But the walk the dog letter, to your knowledge, was the walk the dog letter ever delivered to Kouri's mom, to her brother, to the lawyer, to anybody?
I don't believe so, not to my knowledge.
Okay, thank you. All right. Now let's back up just a little bit to your entry into this case. Oh, Your Honor, I left my notes. May I please return to the table? Too excited and ran up here too fast and left all my questions for you on the back. So, okay. I want to talk to you about the time. So you basically, before you even entered this case as the new head of the investigation.
Lead investigator.
Lead investigator. Thank you so much. I want to use your terminology. Before that, you did what's called a trash cover at Carmen's house, right?
We call it a trash rip.
A trash what?
Rip.
Rip. Okay, I've never heard that. So you did a trash rip at Carmen's house, correct?
You referenced a time frame. I don't remember what you said. Could you rephrase it?
Would it refresh your memory that around February 21st of 2023, you searched Carmen's trash?
It was probably around that time, yeah.
Before you were technically the lead investigator of this case?
That's possible, yeah.
Oh,
And you said,
what did I say? So my dog's back in my background, so I have to mute the microphone. I know what I said. The reason why the letter was never sent out was because they fucking caught her with it. So I can't wait for the state to redirect and clarify that portion. I'm just saying, like, when the defense makes points like this and then it's easily reversed, it makes them look really bad.
said you found some foil, right?
Yes.
And that's usually an indication that someone's been maybe freebasing, heating it up in foil and then smoking it, typically.
I don't know the term freebasing, but from
from the 80s. I'm old, so you probably don't know that term. But
from my experience, people will put a substance, any substance that they want to smoke, on top of tinfoil. They'll heat it from underneath with a lighter or torch, and then they'll smoke the fumes that come off of the substance.
Okay. And did you test the substances that you recovered from her trash that day?
I believe we submitted some of those pieces of paraphernalia to be tested, but I don't remember if we ever got results for them. If they were only NIC tested, I don't remember. I'd have to check records.
Would it refresh your memory to say that only meth and heroin were recovered and no fentanyl?
Like I said, I can't remember without checking my records.
You certainly can't tell the jury under oath that they got fentanyl out of her trash that day, right?
No, I don't remember us finding anything that was confirmed as fentanyl.
Okay. And then at the end of March, I believe, someone started tracking Carmen's car. Is that right?
Correct.
Was that you all, or was that Mr. Gabler?
Who was you all?
The law enforcement, sorry.
We did apply for a GPS tracker warrant for Carmen's vehicle, yes.
All right. And then you get to be assigned a lead investigator around April the 11th.
I think it was in March sometime. I would have to check my notes again, but I believe it was about mid-March, early to mid-March.
Okay. And the first real step that you took as lead investigator, would it be fair to say that was when you applied for a warrant for Kouri and Eric's cell phones?
Good night.
Oh. It's been just as long for me as everybody else. So I remember that I applied for a warrant for, well, I'm sorry, I don't remember. One of the first things I remember doing is applying for a search warrant for medical records for Kouri.
For Kouri?
I believe so, yeah.
Okay. All right. And did you also apply for medical records for Eric?
I think those had already been requested or subject to a warrant.
By Detective Woody. Actually, I think she did testify to that. I think that's right.
I believe so. One of the investigators previous to my getting into the case.
And then you decided to knock on Kouri's door and interview her, right?
At one point, I did, yeah.
And when you showed up to interview...
Objection, Your Honor. Beyond the scope.
Sustained.
Oh, yeah. They didn't cover this in direct.
Can I have the court's indulgence for just a moment?
Yeah,
I need to
looks
go
like your
chat with
hubby.
my co-counsel for just 1 second.
Nope.
Huddle up.
Right, so we are going to leave that topic alone and we're going to move forward, okay?
Okay.
Also, the other things that you did in the mid to end of April of 2023, shortly after you were assigned to the case, you also looked at extracted Kouri's cell phone, did you not?
Yes, I would have to verify the date, but yes.
Okay. And when you extracted the phone, were you able to start looking at her texts and looking at everything in her phone?
Yes. At this time, we had just acquired our own forensic equipment. So previously, we relied on the RCFL for our digital forensic evidence extractions and so forth. We had just started getting our own forensic equipment, and so I downloaded Kouri's phone, and I don't remember the format of the software to analyze it, but I do remember seeing the text messages and the gaps in the text messages.
Was that the first time you'd ever extracted a phone on the new equipment?
I don't remember if it was the very first, but it was one of the first times, yes.
And was there anybody who assisted you in doing that extraction?
Yes, Miss Gibson did.
Right. And are you or Ms. Gibson certified on Celebrite or the extraction gray key, whatever you use to extract it?
Miss Gibson is. I'm not.
All right. And then after you extracted Kouri's cell phone, you interviewed Chelsea Barney, did you not?
I did.
And Chelsea's testified here. Chelsea was Ms. Richins' dear friend from junior high, right?
That's what I understood, yes.
And when Chelsea came in to be interviewed, didn't you tell her that you had evidence that she and Kouri had spoken the night of Eric's death?
Chelsea did not come in anywhere when I interviewed her. I interviewed her in her home in Heber.
Oh, were you present when she did the interview at the sheriff's department?
No, I was not.
All right. So when you interviewed her at her home in Heber,
Yikes, did the defense not already know that?
did you tell Chelsea that you had evidence that she and Kouri had spoken the night of Eric's death?
Your objection, foundation as to what time frame are we talking about?
Can
Usually
you?
a little foundation
Sure, I'm
work.
glad to. Can you tell us when you interviewed Chelsea in Heber?
I can't give you an exact date. My best guess is it was probably April sometime of 2023.
Before Kouri's arrest date.
Correct.
And when you interviewed Chelsea in April of 2023, did you tell her, did you represent to her that you had evidence that she and Kouri had spoken the night of Eric's death?
I don't think it was phrased that way. So we had some interest in the timeline of their communication between Chelsea and Kouri the night of Eric's death. Because when we looked at what was available on the phone, it appeared that Chelsea and Kouri texted every single day. Like, they were always talking with each other. And then there was a gap, I believe, between March 2nd and March 4th. So that stuck out to me as unusual. And I did bring that up with Chelsea and just asked her if she knew of any reason that there would be that gap. And then she was actually able to produce some documents from her cell carrier that we went over together, and it looked like that matched up.
So you originally suspected that maybe she had deleted a conversation with Kouri?
That's what it looked like initially, is that there was an unusual gap in communication between these two best friends that I understood them to be.
Okay. And it turned out that was incorrect, right?
From what I'm remembering, yes. So there's some confusion because there were just personal direct text messages between just Kouri and Chelsea, and then there was a group chat of all their friends.
Right.
And it was hard to distinguish in the beginning which occurred when, and I think that's where some of the confusion came from.
But ultimately, you were able to agree with Chelsea that she did not speak with Kouri the night of Eric's death and did not delete any messages with Kouri, correct?
I couldn't find anything that suggested otherwise.
Right. And then was Chelsea unhappy with the way that you all handled her interview?
I don't know.
To your knowledge, were you aware that she filed a complaint that she had been misled about her phone when she was being interviewed by your office?
I was a...
Your Honor, just objection foundation. I think timing's important here. I think counsel's confused about two different interviews, so I think we need foundation on timing.
Would you just be more specific about the complaint or what it was about with some month and year
Yes, Your Honor.
signposts?
Shortly after Chelsea was interviewed, the time with you and the follow-up time, did she file a complaint against your
Oh,
office?
that's the problem. Can you break it down one at a time? They're two different events.
Just a moment.
Break it down now.
Okay, I understand now, Your Honor. I'm going to get specific about timing.
Okay.
I think that'll solve the problem. Prior to your interview of Chelsea, was Chelsea asked to come in by Detective Woody? When you reviewed the file, were you aware that there had been a previous interview with Chelsea?
I don't know if it was when I reviewed the file, but I was aware that Chelsea had come in for an interview, and that was prior to when I talked to her.
You're right. And after that interview with Detective Woody, did Chelsea file a complaint about being misled when she was brought in?
Objection, Your Honor, relevance.
Help me out. I'm not sure where we're headed.
Your Honor, do you think it's relevant?
Why don't you approach for a moment?
Okay.
All right, guys, how's the cross-examination so far? Yep. Former best friend. I'm sure she wouldn't be friends anymore after she found out that her house was going in foreclosure and Kouri didn't use the money for the down payment.
All right, and in addition to you interviewing Chelsea at her home in Heber sometime in mid-April, you also interviewed a close friend of Eric named Jake, right?
Yes.
All right.
Jake Sorensen.
And then you, at the end of April, is when Mr. Bloodworth said on April 26th, when you got the warrant and executed the warrant on Carmen Lobber's house, right?
We executed a warrant on Carmen Lobber's residence on April 26, 2023.
Right. So between April 11th, or end of March, when you first joined the case, and April 26th of 23, you possibly got a warrant for cell phones. You extracted Kouri's phone, interviewed Chelsea and Jake. And then that's when the seizure happened at Carmen's house, right?
I'm not sure what you're referencing about the April 11th date.
That's the date on your report when you were assigned to the case. So that's the date I've been using. But if you remember it earlier.
That's the date that I wrote the report?
No. I mean, it doesn't matter to me. It's not. If you remember it was the end of March, we'll go with that. That's fine. I'll use the end of March.
But
Okay. And then you search Carmen's house. And then the next day is when we saw the interview that you had with Carmen at the jail, right?
yes, so Carmen's home was searched on April 26th. That same day, she was arrested for driving on suspended license. And then the next day was the first time that we spoke with her at the Wasatch County Jail.
So first, the search of her house. Was any fentanyl located in her house at all?
No.
No. Then when you go to interview her, do you know what time of the night or the day she was pulled over for driving with a suspended license?
It was in the morning.
Hell, Drogo, I can see that if he had a little eyebrow lifties.
And what time of day did you see her on the 27th?
I don't remember.
Okay.
I would have to look at the timestamp on the video of the interview.
And I watched the interview, but I never saw anyone ask her if she was under the influence while you were interviewing her. Did anyone ever ask her that question?
I don't remember. I don't think so, but I don't remember.
And is it fair to say in that first interview before any promises have been made about leniency or anything, Carmen denied ever being asked for fentanyl by Kouri Richins.
Yeah, I testified earlier that drug dealers, in my experience, when you interview them, will initially...
Well, let me stop you. I'm asking about Carmen, not other drug dealers. I'm asking about Carmen Lobber. Did she deny ever being asked by Kouri Richins for fentanyl?
Yeah, as most other drug dealers also do when I interview them.
And did she share with you a personal tragedy that her daughter had OD'd on fentanyl?
Yes.
And did she tell you that because of that, she didn't mess with fentanyl?
Objection, Your Honor. Hearsay.
I think she's asking about statements from the prior interview. Let me ask a more specific question. Do you mind approaching for a moment? Did you get an answer to that question? I'm not sure you did.
I'm not sure I did either, so let me ask it again. Did Ms. Lobber tell you that because of what happened to her daughter tragically, that she did not mess with fentanyl? She didn't deal with it?
I believe those were her words, yes.
Right. And as a matter of fact, the first people that ever injected the word fentanyl into any conversation with Carmen Lobber were you and the other investigating officers, correct? Came out of y'all's mouth first, not hers.
Objection, Your Honor. Argument.
Overruled. If you understand what she's referring to by y'all, go ahead.
I'm sorry.
Sorry, I did it
I'm still
again.
focused on the previous question because I thought there was going to be a follow-up question about my impression.
No. So the first people that mentioned fentanyl in the interview were law enforcement, not Ms. Lobber, correct?
Yeah, I believe so. Because I think we told her in that first interview that while investigating Eric Richins, we told them that we were investigating Eric Richins' death and that he had died of a fentanyl overdose.
All right. And then you went back and interviewed her again and again and again, right?
5 more distinct separate interviews.
And I believe that I wrote this in quotes because I try to be precise. I believe that when we were listening to the recording, and the jury will, I trust the jury's memories on this, but the phrase, "you're the biggest piece," right? That was said.
Yep.
And that meant you're the biggest piece of this puzzle, right?
In context, I'm trying to remember what was said before that. I think there was Miss Lobber made a reference to, can we just like put all the pieces together in front of us so that we can see how it happened?
Actually, it wasn't can we, it was can you put the pieces together for me, correct?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah. And then go ahead, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
Yeah, and so in context, we said, yeah, you're the biggest piece of that set of information that we're trying to figure out.
And you also, and I wrote this in quotes, and hopefully the jury will recall this the way I do, you hold all the cards.
Yeah, as in she had all the information that we didn't know.
And we saw her struggling and telling you repeatedly that she could not recall dates, she could not remember certain things. Is that right?
She told us several times that she had difficulty remembering, and that the more that we brought to her and showed her things that were corroborated, the more she remembered and the better recollection she had.
And then within less than a few days of when she finally gave you what you needed, that there was fentanyl involved in her transactions, within a few days is when you issued the warrant to arrest Kouri, right?
We interviewed Carmen between April 27th and May 13th. The warrant for Kouri's arrest was issued by 3rd District Court on May 8th.
But when was it requested? May 3rd? Does that refresh your memory?
I don't request arrest warrants.
You signed, you're right, that's done by the county attorney's office, correct?
They filed charges in the case and requested an arrest warrant. We were made aware of it on May 8th.
Within days of Carmen Lobber agreeing with you that fentanyl was involved.
May 8th falls between April 27th and May 13th, yes.
Okay.
What an answer.
Now, I want to talk about your investigation into, oh, by the way, let me back up. Since you have become the lead investigator in this case, have you ever located the hydrocodone bottle that was found on the nightstand next to Eric?
Can you define located? I know where it's been at certain points throughout the investigation.
Okay.
But we don't currently have it in our possession right now.
That's all I need. I want to talk about the Valentine's Day investigation. All right?
Okay.
Katie, can you bring up, just for the witness only, Your Honor, Exhibit 3-13B as in Delta? Where Eric was on February the 14th of 2022 based on geolocation in his phone?
Objection, Your Honor. Foundation.
I don't.
Did you guys catch that? I don't know what else to ask.
This exhibit is a visual clip of the locations where Eric was on February the 14th of 2022 based on geolocation in his phone?
Objection, Your Honor. Foundation.
I don't know whether this witness would have the basis to know that, so sustained for now, if you can lay some
I
foundation.
understand what you're asking. As you've been preparing for this case, have you been reviewing the demonstrative exhibits that the state prepared to get ready for trial?
Not all of them, and not this one. I've just seen it in court.
Okay. Did you, as the head investigator of this case, investigate Eric's whereabouts on the days of February 14th, 2022?
Yes, in the sense that Mr. Kouri, the digital forensics expert that the county hired, helped us in the analysis of the phones, and he at some point told us the data that was in the phone regarding Eric's location on the 14th.
All right. So without revealing anything that Mr. Kouri said, what did you learn about Eric's locations that informed how you acted in the future in your investigation?
Well, objection, Foundation. I don't know how he would know that without hearsay.
Well, it's possible that he heard it prior to being in court, and to the extent that is to inform what he did next, we can accept it not for the truth of the matter. Shall we proceed in that way?
Yes, Your Honor.
Let's see what the response is.
Go ahead.
Just so I'm clear, you're asking if I'm aware of Eric Richins' location on February 14th,
Yes.
just based on
The whole
digital
investigation.
evidence?
Yep, and the whole investigation, whatever you did.
Your question was at least tied in some way to Mr. Kouri.
Okay, we'll start with that. So based on your working with Mr. Kouri, looking at the digital evidence that you went through in this case, do you have a knowledge of Eric's locations on February 14th of 2022?
Maybe pause for a minute. If we
Yes.
can just approach for a minute.
Kouri about Eric's locations on February 14th, 2022 that informed your investigation in any way?
I believe so. The truth is I don't remember 100% for sure if and when I knew about location data from Eric's device throughout the investigation. I would have to go back and review reports, especially Mr. Kouri reports.
Can we, Your Honor,
I just don't remember.
Can we see if this document refreshes your memory as to that?
This one or different
Yes. Can we go through the pages very slowly and give him a minute to see if it refreshes his recollection?
He testified that he'd never seen the first one prior to being in the court. It's unclear whether that's true for the remaining pages that the witness is being shown right now. I imagine we're about to find out.
Thank you, Your Honor. Do you need us to do it again, or did you see them all?
Yeah, I saw them.
Does that refresh your recollection about Mr. Richins' locations on February 14th, or what you knew about them?
It doesn't. This demonstrative Mr. Kouri created, and the first time I saw any of these slides was in the court. And like I said, he may have shared that information during our investigation. I just don't remember.
Okay. So Ms. Richins is here today on charges that she attempted to kill her husband on February 14th of 2022. Is that right? One of the charges.
I believe so, yes.
And you're the head investigator of this case.
Yes.
Did you take any steps to confirm or deny Mr. Richins' movements on the day of February 14th of 2022 when he was allegedly a murder was attempted on his life?
Our team did. We hired an expert in digital forensics.
So Mr. Kouri, he did it.
So what do you know about his locations on that day?
That's what I'm saying. What I know and what I remember are probably two different things. What I knew at some point throughout the investigation is that Mr. Kouri probably found whatever location data was available on his phone and shared that with investigators. I just don't remember the contents of what those said.
So as you sit here right now under oath in a homicide trial, you cannot tell this jury what Mr. Richins did on the day he was allegedly attempted to be murdered. You can't tell him. That's
Foundation, Your Honor. The question is, you can't say what Mr. Richins did. There's no foundation for that.
Your Honor, that's not the question I asked.
I'm sorry. Counsel, just ask a more precise question. If it needs to be 3 more precise questions, that's fine.
Thank you, I will.
The foundation objection is sustained.
You cannot say under oath what your investigation showed about where Mr. Richins was on the day that someone apparently attempted to murder him.
I could after a 2-minute conversation with the digital forensics expert that we hired, because I just don't retain that information well.
So you don't know?
I don't remember.
You don't know right now, and we're in trial right now. Do you know right now?
Objection, Your Honor. Ask it and answer.
I'll withdraw.
That one was a little over-minute and sustained.
I'll withdraw. Speaking of that, were you ever able to confirm or track Mr. Richins and place him? Did you ever check and see if he ever went to the house in Midway on his geolocation? Did you ever ask anyone to do that?
Objection, Foundation. When?
I can ask him if he asked anyone to do it.
Well, that's a different question. So the question you just asked was very broad as to time frame. Foundation objection is sustained, but please ask a more precise question.
Did you ever ask an expert, hey, can you see if Eric Richins ever went to the Midway house where Carmen allegedly left drugs in a fire pit?
So I was the lead investigator on the case. I was not the only one making decisions. I am aware that someone in our investigative team directed Mr. Kochodimos to look into Eric's location from his device. Yes.
Are you able to tell this jury if Eric Richins was anywhere near the Midway house around the time that Ms. Lobber claims she left drugs there?
Oh, are they trying to say that Eric picked up the drugs from the Midway house? Okay.
To tell this jury if Eric Richins was anywhere near the Midway house around the time that Ms. Lobber claims she left drugs there?
That's a broad date range. So I don't know. I don't have that data in front of me.
Okay. All right.
Well, I wonder if the defense has an expert that is going to show Eric at the Midway house and at the other houses picking up drugs.
Is it true that through all your interviews with Carmen and your attempts to corroborate what she was telling you, at least one of the times that Carmen allegedly purchased drugs from Mr. Crozier and brought them to Kouri was after Eric was dead?
Her testimony was not that. She didn't remember it that way. We found digital evidence that suggested that.
So after Eric died, it is your understanding that there's still drug dealing going on between Kouri and Ms. Lobber?
I'm aware that Ms. Lobber conducted a similar transaction 2 months prior to Eric's death, after his death with Ms. Richins.
On that's the occasion, I believe, and you were here, if I'm wrong, please correct me, but that's the occasion where Ms. Lobber claims that Kouri had to write her a check, right?
Yes.
And the check was written out on the Kouri Richins Realty checkbook, right? As you recall from your investigation.
Yeah, I believe it was a K. Richins Realty check.
Did you do any corroboration or investigation into whether or not Carmen Lobber did actual work for Kouri Richins Realty that week?
Yeah, I mean, we talked to Carmen about her relationship with Kouri in all ways, and she said she had done some work for Kouri in several different capacities. As far as that week, I don't know that we ever got into those details.
That was the week that they were about to close on the Midway Mansion. Is that correct?
What date are you referring to?
The date that. I'm sorry. Strike that. That's fair. The week before she got the check is the week that the Midway Mansion closing allegedly happened, right? Right after Eric's death.
Your Honor, objection. The air quotes. This is testifying.
The air quotes were for the Midway Mansion. That's why I did that. That's what I call it. But for the house on Legacy Drive, I won't do that again. The house on Legacy Drive.
Sorry, can you restate the whole question? I've forgotten it already.
The house on Legacy Drive had closed in between Eric's death and when Ms. Lobber allegedly got this check, correct?
Between Eric's death and when she got the check?
Right.
As far as my understanding, yes.
Did you ever talk to the realtor and say, hey, did Carmen Lobber clean up that house the week before it closed?
Which realtor?
The realtor for the Legacy house.
I'm not aware who that is.
You don't even know who was selling that house?
No.
So I guess the answer is no, you never made any attempt to corroborate whether Carmen did work that week.
I don't know that the realtor would know the answer to that question, but I never talked to them.
Okay. And speaking of the Midway Mansion closing, we've had some testimony here about some closing documents that were signed and dated either the day after Eric died or a couple of days after Eric died. Did you hear that testimony?
I believe so, yeah.
Did you ever go to the people that conducted the closing and confirm whether Kouri was present at that closing in person?
No.
Are you aware that you can do closings on houses without being present in person?
I know nothing about realty.
Okay, well, then I'll let you have a pass on that. Did you ever do any determination as to whether those documents were signed through what's called DocuSign electronically?
I'm sorry, can you say the question again?
The closing documents for the legacy property, did you ever do any confirmation or investigation into whether those documents were signed via DocuSign or electronically without being with a wet signature and a pen?
The investigation into the signing on the house and the other financial documents, I wasn't a part of. That was through the prosecution's office's investigator and their experts, their forensic accountants. I wasn't really part of that.
As lead investigator, you can't testify that that was ever done here today.
I can't. I have no knowledge of it.
Okay. You did, you were involved in at least 8 of the 10 search warrants that were issued on this house? Because I think the first 2 were Detective
What do you mean by involved?
You were lead investigator once those warrants were being executed? I think the first 2 were Woody, so I don't want to credit those
The
to you.
title of lead investigator doesn't necessarily mean what I did in those circumstances. I guess I would ask you to be a little more specific about what you're asking.
How many warrants are you aware were executed on the house, on the Richins home?
I believe around 10. I don't remember the exact number.
And in 10 different times of searching, was there ever any fentanyl recovered?
Throughout the 10 search warrants.
Isn't it bad that there was no fentanyl recovered, though?
Anything that was recovered during those search warrants that we suspected may contain fentanyl, have traces of fentanyl, were sent to the state lab.
Okay.
We got results back from the state lab. There were some items that...
May we approach?
Okay.
Do you want to move on?
Yeah.
Okay.
In the 10 search warrants that were executed on this house, did you ever find any cups, glasses, straws that contained any traces of fentanyl on them?
Let me be clear. I wasn't present at every single time that the house was searched. So the answer is investigators on my team or investigators from the Summit County Sheriff's Office did not find cups, straws, the things you mentioned that contain fentanyl, no.
As you sit here today, can you even tell this jury the exact time that Eric Richins died?
I don't know that anybody can.
Can you tell this jury how fentanyl got inside of Eric Richins? Based on evidence, not speculation or theory, but evidence.
I know it was orally ingested.
And that's all you know, right?
That's not all I know, but I know it was orally ingested.
To this date, have you ever recovered any of the pills that Carmen Lobber allegedly gave to Kouri Richins to test to see what they are?
That I can confirm for sure are the pills that passed from Carmen's hand to Kouri's hand.
Correct.
No.
Okay. Prior to Carmen Lobber's second, third, fourth interview, there was never a warrant issued for Kouri's arrest prior to that date. Is that correct?
I'm sorry, can you say the question again?
Prior to the interviews with Carmen Lobber, there was never, that was the first time you all requested an arrest. Well, let me say, because I won't say y'all. The first time there was ever a formal request to arrest Kouri Richins was after the interview with Carmen Lobber, correct?
After at least the first 3 interviews with Carmen Lobber, we had enough information that we believed met a probable cause standard for the arrest of Ms. Richins.
Okay.
We gave that information to the prosecutors, and they filed charges in this case. They then requested an arrest warrant be issued from 3rd District Court. I executed that warrant by arresting Ms. Richins.
Have you ever heard of hair follicle testing?
I think I've heard that term. I don't know what you're referring to.
What's your knowledge of it?
That people much smarter than me can test hair follicles for what it can tell you about the body's biology.
Specifically,
Without the extent of what I know.
Specifically, isn't it fair? You've been a narcotics officer for a long time.
Objection, Your Honor. Relevant scope.
This is beyond the scope.
Your Honor, it goes to the investigation or lack thereof.
But beyond the scope of the version, or the version of the direct examination regarding the investigation. You have other options to get into this. It's just not right now.
Okay.
Oh, they'll probably call him back later.
Court's indulgence for just a moment, Your Honor.
Of course.
In Carmen's house. When you searched Carmen's house, did you test any pills that were found in Carmen's house?
I don't remember. That would be a better question for Ms. Gibson. She handled all the evidence recovered from that search.
You were aware through your investigation that shortly before Eric's...
I will say this, though, as I don't know, maybe lead investigator really doesn't mean much, but as someone with the title of lead investigator, I would feel like you would just have an overall knowledge of all the information. Like, yes, you can remember or not remember some certain things, but there's a lot of things that I would expect him to remember.
death, he was on a hunting trip in Mexico, is that right?
Yes.
And the very last thing Eric ever did that we can establish before he passed away was a Google search, right?
I don't know if that's an accurate statement, but I know that a Google search was found on Eric's phone the night he died. That was, I think it was searching directions or how far it was from Utah to Sonora, Mexico, I think.
Right. And
if you had to drive, how long it would take to drive.
Okay. And did you do any investigation into where Eric went hunting when he was on his hunting trip in Mexico? Where was it?
Yeah, I don't remember the name of the outfitter. Todd Rice was the contact that we had with the hunting outfit in Mexico.
But I mean, where in Mexico? Was it the Sonora area?
I think so.
Okay. Also, according to Ms. Lobber, she estimated that each time she got pills that apparently she says she gave to Kouri, there were 15 to 30 pills per transaction.
Mm-hmm. The PI was like on top of it. Knew his information, knew his dates, the details.
Is that accurate?
Her statements.
Your Honor, the foundation is to when? During interview, during testimony, during when?
Just provide a little more foundation for the question, or a little more detail for the basis of the question.
What is your understanding of how many pills were involved in each transaction that ultimately allegedly went to Kouri?
Approximately, well, total or each time?
Each time.
Each time approximately 15 to 30.
Right. And that would be a total, again, math, but if you have 30 pills times 4, that's 120 pills.
That maths for me.
And you were in the courtroom when strike that. Did you give Carmen rides to meetings with her attorney in your car after she agreed to cooperate with you?
We helped transport Carmen when she couldn't get somewhere. It wasn't usually in my car. It was in Detective Maynard's, but yeah.
How often did you guys give Carmen rides places?
It was only a couple times.
Did you talk to her on the phone?
Yeah.
Check in with her? Mm-hmm. Went by and saw her at her house?
We need answers, Steve.
I'm sorry.
You got to say yes because they can't type. Mm-hmm.
Right.
Okay, so what was the answer to the last question about you called her on the phone?
Yes.
You would go by and see her in person?
Well, not just like to see her, but like if we needed to get in contact with her in person for some reason, yeah, sometimes we would go to her house or her work, wherever she was at.
And this relationship or these interactions that you had with her extended from the time she agreed to cooperate with you to literally she showed up in court, right?
If you're referring to myself and Detective Maynard, yes, because Detective Maynard contacts and deals with Carmen a lot more than I do.
Okay. Getting close, I'm sorry. Thank you for your patience. Oh, okay. I want to talk about the, Lord, if they're GIFs or GIFs, I don't know, but GIFs that have come in, those pictures of the goofy pictures that they said that Kouri accessed the morning of the 4th, right?
I'm sorry, who's they?
All right, I'll be more specific. The GIFs, you saw them come up on the screen. They were like joke GIFs, right? That it was testified to that Kouri's phone accessed them all at the same time the morning of March 4th, the morning Eric died, right?
What I understand about the gifts is that there were, I think, 3 different ones, and that they were somehow accessed on Kouri's device. The technical jargon of the digital forensics is whatever Mr. Cocherdimos testified to.
I'm with you on that. So clearly, I would imagine, as the lead investigator, if you're investigating a potential homicide, would it be important to you to look at the very last conversations that the decedent and the suspect had right before the death?
It could be part of it.
Did you do that?
I believe I did. I don't remember what the contents were, but...
Katie, can you please pull up JO11 and make it a little clearly? Take your time looking at the... Keep going, Katie.
Richins and Kouri
Richins. Whom?
Eric Richins and Kouri Richins.
And what is the date, sir? Can you blow them up,
Sorry, I'll have to
please?
zoom in.
Sorry.
March 3rd, 2022.
So this is the day, literally, this is the last day on Earth. And it's the conversation he had with his wife, right?
That's what it looks like.
All right.
I have to
And-
look at all the timestamps to
And
give
certainly-
accurate context for that. But
I'm really sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. Certainly you reviewed this as part of your investigation.
probably. I'm not remembering them, but
Your Honor, this,
I have not
Are they going to show like lovey-dovey text message between Kouri and Eric?
looked at every single text message on Eric's phone and on Corey's phone.
sure, but like the day he died would be a kind of an important day to check out, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so do you
Like
recall?
I said, that's where we got the information about the hunting guide in Mexico. So yeah, we were looking at that information.
So then, Your Honor, may I please admit this as Defense Exhibit 300, I don't even know what we're on yet. 3010. 30.
I'm also looking, yeah,
Can we go to
foundation or authenticity. I'm also looking at maybe approach.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can we go to the? Is this the first page, Katie?
All right, approach. We're getting close to the end now. Oh boy, this is it's kind of painful. So, Kouri, how do you think your case is going so far? She's shaking her head. Kouri, she looks really stressed out. Oh man. Alright guys, we're almost at the end. I guess because there were so many crazy moments in this case and it was sprinkled throughout that by the time we got to O'Driscoll's testimony, it wasn't that much of like a banger. Although we got to listen to some, jail calls, read some letters and all that. But man, it was pretty wild like throughout. We're just forwarding through this. So do we think Kouri's going to testify? The defense said they were going to speak to her about that.
There will likely be additional questioning of Detective O'Driscoll tomorrow morning from both defense and the state. That additional questioning we do not have time for today, so we'll be recessing for the day between now and tomorrow morning at 8:30 a.m. As always, please don't talk about the case with anyone. Please do not allow anyone to talk about it with you. Please do not read, watch, or listen to any coverage of the case. Please do not do any research about the case. Please travel safe. Folks, have a seat. Anything else on the record today, Mr. Blayworth?
No, Your Honor.
Ms. Nestor?
No, Your Honor.
Detective, I need you to be back here at 8:30 tomorrow morning. Agreed?
Yes, Your Honor.
Very good. Ladies and gentlemen, we'll be in recess until 8:30 in the morning. Thank
Your
you.
Honor, just real quick.
My apologies.
If there's some kind of urgent matter they need to discuss with him as the chief investigator, I guess I'm just asking we all be on honor. They don't discuss with him his testimony at all. But if they need to talk to him about something, just let me know and we'll probably agree to that. So just if there's an urgency in the middle of the night or something.
Any problem with that, Mr. Blayworth?
No problem, Your Honor.
Okay, very good. We'll be in recess until 8:30 a.m. Thank you.
What if Kouri testifies tomorrow? What if that happens? Okay, well, day 13. Day 13 today. Well, yesterday we basically didn't really have court. We had testimony for like 8 minutes. And then today we had a half day, but we did get a testimony from Carmen Lobber. She was returning to the stand, recalled by the defense. And they essentially want to talk about how she broke probation. She violated the conditions of it. And quite honestly, did it really land with the jury? I mean, to me, it didn't land. I just thought it was whatever. Carmen seemed to be very forthcoming when she was confronted with it. There's a concert that she was discovered by an officer for having an alcoholic beverage, and she asked the judge permission to go to Vegas once a month. All right. Then we got to witness number 44, lead detective Jeff O'Driscoll, narcotics, major crimes unit for 10 years. When he was put onto this case, he essentially just wanted to start off fresh. You know, the information that he had was very limited. He had the autopsy report, he had toxicology, so he knew that Eric died of fentanyl overdose. They went through some photos of text messages between Kouri and Eric. One text, it was Kouri's idea to do gummies. In a different text, Eric asked if they want to do gummies. They talked about Kouri's book after Eric passed away, about a year after, and how she did an interview. There was an email of her coordinating to market this book on Good Things Utah. There was a subpoena that was sent to Amazon because somehow the Summit County Sheriff's Office got the Amazon book and they found out that it came from Kouri's mom. Interesting. Then we got some text messages going back and forth between Kouri and her mom, Kouri and DJ talking about this book. And it seems like she also had another book deal or book that she wanted to work on where she needed to use code names for some reason. We came back from a mini break and we continued with Jeff O'Driscoll's testimony. He noticed that there was a high volume of communication between Carmen and Kouri. He thought it was really weird. Carmen was close friends with someone by the name Nick Von Savage. And so they found out that Nick Von Savage was visiting someone that was in jail. And so they requested for jailhouse calls. And oh man, the day that Eric died, Nick Von Savage said that I think they were trying to get an Xbox for an inmate. And the inmate said that either you or Carmen can buy it and I'll pay back. And then Nick Von Savage was like, no, I can't have Carmen do it. She just made a bunch of money making illicit street drugs. So that's how they started getting on Carmen's case. They had a search warrant for Carmen's cell phone. They surveilled her. They closed the trash from her house. They found residue in the trash. And at some point, when they had the search warrant, they also searched her house. They found THC products, paraphernalia, a firearm. And by this point, she's technically kind of on like some sort of probation. She's supposed to follow the rules of drug court. And her having all this was no bueno. She had an obituary clipping of Eric from the newspaper. At the same time, when they were executing the search warrant, Carmen was stopped and she was booked into jail. She was driving on a suspended license. So they talk about how Carmen did all these interviews and the state, they were able to play these interviews to basically kind of combat what the defense was mischaracterizing about Carmen's interview with the detectives. And so there were portions where they mentioned that, you know, Carmen would get a get out of free jail card. And so we listened to the rest of the interview to explain that portion. We listened to the portion where it's like the goal is to convict Kouri of aggravated murder and that, you know, the drug investigation is not a priority. They added more context to Carmen saying that, oh, you know, like, can you just like write it for me and I'll just sign it? And then additionally, there was more context about, I forgot what was the other one. I don't know if I highlighted it. I guess not. So essentially, we're getting more context about some of the things that were said to Carmen that sounds pretty bad. Like, it was almost as if the detectives were trying to do everything they can to get Carmen to lie or basically put words in her mouth so that she would go along with the narrative to convict Kouri no matter what. But when they played the police interviews, it seemed kind of like, oh, this is like the natural flow of the conversation. Like, yes, if you take it in isolation, it could sound bad, but the entire interview makes it not as bad as what was purported. We got a bunch of, let's see. Oh, we got to read from the orange notebook. Kouri documenting the timeline of Eric's death and the timeline after his death. There's Kouri writing timelines of notes, but I don't know if I don't think the jury's gonna really put the two and two together. Because for me, it seems like she's writing these notes because she was trying to keep track of maybe the lies that she was telling to the detectives. But I think it could be seen as either way. Either she was lying or she was keeping notes because she wanted to make sure that her story was straight. And it could be because that was the truth. I know, right? We have so many cool last names here. Jeez. There was Eric trying to estimate and help Kouri with the estimates for the Midway house. There was text messages between Kouri and her brother asking if Eric was suicidal, and she's like, no, but I know that like if he died, I'd be set for life. There was a text message between Kouri and her mom about Hayden. Kouri pretending not to know who Hayden is. There was phone call discussions about egg sandwiches, and the mom was like, oh, who picked up the egg sandwich from the diner? And then Kouri's like, I did. But she said it with a long pause, so I don't know if she was like kind of thrown off that her mom would ask that. They're calling people idiots on the phone call. Kouri's laughing. Then she talks about her brother. Same thing. Kouri's laughing. Something about the egg sandwich being accompanied by a love note. We got to read the first 3 pages of the Walk the Dog letter. Now, if you guys are curious about the entire contents of the Walk the Dog letter, if you go through my Kouri Richins playlist, I read the whole letter like a few times on like separate videos, but I would say might be easier to go to like an earlier one. I think I did it like a few months ago, maybe like 6 months ago, and then I did it again like maybe like a year or 2 ago. But we have definitely read the entire letter on stream before, so in the playlist, go check it out. And then let's see. Oh, then we got into cross-examination. Cross-examination, I mean, they are really trying to recharacterize the Walk the Dog letter and essentially say that, like, see, Kouri's just relaying what she heard, and she's just trying to tell the lawyer, you know, in the meeting that they have coming up. So, you know, really trying to characterize that Kouri actually did hear this from her brother, and she's just reminding or, like, jogging her brother's memory. So it's like either that or maybe the jury can believe that she was trying to witness tamper and concoct this lie. Let's see. Defense attorney was like, oh, did you ever go to Ronnie, the brother, and ask if this actually happened? And the investigators were like, yeah, we tried to, but he didn't want to talk to us. I'm like, I don't know how that helps. I don't know how that helps the defense in any way. They mentioned about the putting drugs in the suitcase and how there was a witness that testified to that. Same thing with when Kouri said there was messages in here to prove that Eric did this. Well, they never seized Ronnie's phone. I think, again, they tried to talk to him, but he didn't want to talk to them at all. And I was like, well, if he had this very important information and wants to help his sister out, why didn't he provide this information to law enforcement? Is it because it doesn't exist? There's mention of Kouri saying in the letter that Eric told Ronnie he would keep them an allergy pill bottle so she wouldn't find them. It's like, okay, well, why didn't Ronnie tell investigators this after Eric died? If Eric had told him, it's kind of interesting. And that they made a point that the Walk the Dog letter was never sent out. But, you know, I think in redirect with the state would just say, hey, why was that letter never sent out? Oh, it's because we caught Kouri with it. We caught her. Let's see. They get into how Carmen never said fentanyl. The officers came out and said fentanyl first in the interview. So again, to say that, oh, you know, the defense's theory is that investigators put this in Carmen's mouth and Carmen adopted it. But, you know, the investigator did say that, like, yeah, I mean, we mentioned fentanyl first because we told Carmen that Eric died of fentanyl overdose. There were some faces a lot of times when Kouri was making faces at this witness. Asking about whether or not they had geolocation of Eric's phone on Valentine's Day. And there's quite a few times where I was really surprised that the lead investigator didn't know the answers to some of the questions. I mean, I know he's like, hey, it's just a fucking title. We had all these experts that we hired to do all these, like, you know, very specific investigations. But I mean, even though a title is just a title, I would assume that you still have a very important role and you should still know all the nooks and crannies of this investigation. So I was very disappointed with some of the answers given by Mr. O'Driscoll. The PI, on the other hand, was very knowledgeable, remembered dates off the top of his head, and seems like he really knew the case in and out. But anyways, going back to Detective O'Driscoll, what else do we have? Geolocation of Eric's phone. There was Eric's phone near the Midway house when Carmen left the drugs there? He's like, well, that's broad because, like, the timelines. But then again, it's like, well, you know, I guess, like, the defense could say that, like, well, like, did you even try to investigate that Eric could have been the one getting the drugs, or we just so honed in on Kouri, right? I think that's the point the defense is trying to make. Did you investigate if Carmen did work for Kouri that week? Oh, that's just a check that was written by Kouri. Remember, Carmen said that she was given a check for the third transaction after Eric died, and Kouri wanted more drugs. And so the defense was trying to push back and say in cross-examination that, oh, well, this check was for cleaning a house. It wasn't because of drugs. And so the defense did ask this witness whether or not they tried to investigate if, ask other people, ask the realtor if Carmen cleaned the house. And he's like, well, I don't know if the realtor would know. But that's not the answer that I want to hear. For me, I want to hear thoroughness. I want to hear that, they checked him on everything and he knows like a lot of these answers. There's mention of like the 10 search warrants did not find fentanyl. I mean, honestly, I think that also backfires on the defense because, yeah, they didn't find fucking fentanyl at all. And it's probably because someone murdered him with fentanyl and they got rid of the traces. Or Eric consumed all the fentanyl that was purchased. Maybe the baggie was thrown out somewhere. So, I mean, I feel like if Eric had taken fentanyl, he would probably hide it in so many different areas, in his house, in his cars, at his work. Anyways, I don't know how that really helps the defense much. And then again, the defense was like doing those drill questions like, oh, how you don't know how fentanyl got in Eric? And he's like, well, I know it was orally ingested. Well, you never tested the pills. And he's like, well, I mean, like, I don't know if the pills actually went through Kouri's hands to Carmen's hands to Kouri's hands. So yeah, I didn't test those, pills that went through that kind of transaction. Then she was like, oh, well, like, the last thing that Eric did was a Google search. There's some issues about the GIFs very briefly, but nothing too important in my opinion. And then they were asking about whether or not he was aware of the conversation that happened between Eric and Kouri on the day before he died. And we went to sidebar, and that's about it. All right? That's about it. They managed the people. I mean, that's what I'm thinking too, because like, here's the thing. We've already established that in Summit County, murders don't really happen. This was probably the biggest case that he was, I think that's what he said, right? This was like the only like large murder case that he was assigned to. Before he was doing like narcotics and all that stuff. So like they probably don't really get murder cases here. And so, like, yes, he's lead detective and he's probably just someone who just manages everyone. But still, I would still have the assumption that as lead detective, you got to know the ins and outs. Like you're basically the person who oversees everything. And you're like, basically, you're like the spider, okay, of the spider web, okay? I don't know. But I have to criticize a little bit here. I'm not just going to sit here and just say that like, oh, they did nothing wrong. I'm just like, oh, I wish he knew the answer to this. I wish he knew the answer to that. I do get it that you have experts and specialists who investigate certain aspects, but I mean, you got to be tip top ready to go in a fucking cross-examination. But I will give him a little bit of, leeway. Like, oh, they probably don't get a lot of homicides. And this is not really something that he does, like, like you're like in LA, you're like in New York, if you're like, I don't know, maybe in like DC or something, like you'd probably be on top of it because there's probably a lot of homicides that you are assigned to. Alrighty. Oh, Gentry, thank you so much for the coverage and recaps. I'm afraid to watch. Thank you, I appreciate it. I'm gonna do a video where I just have all the phone calls and text messages. That way it's all in one video. So we're gonna post that I think as soon as his testimony's over. They will wait for that. But yeah, that's pretty much it for today. And we will be back tomorrow on time. Although I will probably start about an hour after court starts because of the lag from the court. And they be taking their time. So we'll be starting about probably 8:30 my time. Yeah, 8:30 my time. And then 9:30 Mountain Standard Time. So guys, thank you so much for watching. I appreciate you guys being here. We do a recap for week 1, week 2. Private investigator, one of my favorite testimonies to listen to because he was just really sharp. He was really on top of his answers. And I feel like he has a lot of experience testifying. I forget how many court cases he's testified in, but man, that guy is, you don't mess with that guy. He was really, he was giving nothing to the defense team, nothing at all. But yeah, other than that, guys, I hope you guys have a good one. Take care. And I will see you guys. I'll see you guys later. I called Gentry because her old username, I think it was like Jen, and it had like a tree emoji. So that's how I always remembered as. But all right, guys, thank you so much for watching. Check back the old videos, and I am working on a video right now with text messages and phone calls and all that stuff. So I will have all that ready for you guys. All right. We'll wait until Driscoll is done with his testimony, and then all after that, I will just have everything up there. I'm pretty sure it's ready to go though, because I don't think they will have any other phone calls or interviews. But who knows? Maybe they will. Alrighty, guys, and then we'll see whether or not Kouri is going to testify. If she testifies tomorrow, it will be very wild, but we'll have to wait and see. Alrighty, y'all, have a good one. Take care. I will see you guys. Don't forget to hit the like button, and if you're new here, subscribe. Come back again. We'll see you in the live streams. Thank you so much for chatting. Thanks for keeping me busy and on track with everything. Alrighty, y'all, take care. I'm gonna go eat my late lunch. I'm so hungry. I'm starving.